Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to Madison, Wisconsin for the fifth meeting between the Rockford Rivets and the Madison Mallards. These two teams had similar, in a way, first halves. They both had success and finished in the top half. Both teams have gotten off to a rough start here in the second half. The Mallards have been able to get it together with an 8-game win streak, but the Rockford Rivets still stumbling, and they come in tied for one of the worst records in the second half in the Northwoods League. Only Waterloo in the North Division has an equal record with them at 4-15 in the second half. 7.5 games back of winning the South Division for the second half. That seems a little bit far-fetched, but if Madison can continue to roll and they take the South Division, then the top four teams, or the top three teams behind Madison, essentially make the playoffs. And right now, the 4 spot is only 3 games away from the Rockford Rivets. So it's kind of a mixed feeling coming into this game. By the way, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Scot Gladstone. Alongside me is Joe Byers.
Hey there.
And I'm going to ask Joe real quick, in a game like this where you want Madison to take off and win the second half because that gives you a better chance, but you also want to win today, what's the feeling of the team after the All-Star break?
Yeah, I think, like you mentioned, coming back from off of the All-Star break, it's definitely important to get hot right away, and that's something that the Rivets really need right now, especially in the category of putting the ball into play and getting some offense going. They've had a lot of games where they've only recorded a couple hits that have led to obviously only a couple runs, and they've lost a lot of really close games. So it would really be nice to see the offense get going after having some days off here, and having Cooper Kane on the mound after he pitched 1 inning actually starting the All-Star game for the South Division is very important too. So everything's in place here for the Rivets to get a win. It's just a very tough opponent.
Yeah, and a very tough pitching battle for both sides as well. Starting on the bump for the Madison Mallards tonight, doing his warm-up pitches right now, is Brian Morrell. Morrell, out of Shoreham, New York, throws with his right hand, 6 foot, 185-pound freshman from Notre Dame. He will not see his college teammate Ryan Cole, who's not in the starting lineup for the Rivets this year. But on the year, 2-0 record, 2.34 ERA. How else has he done, Joe? What do you expect to see from him?
Yeah, it should definitely be interesting. We got a really good pitching match going here. 2.34 ERA for the Mallards starter today. 30 and 2/3 inning pitch, 21 strikeouts, 18 walks, as opposed to Cooper Kane, 1-2 on the season, 1.34 ERA. As we talked about before the game, his record really doesn't show how well he's been doing this season. 7 starts this year, 50 strikeouts, and only 14 walks. So obviously has a little bit better of a ratio there. And as I mentioned, really important to get him going. And not really the second half of the year, but post-All-Star break.
Yeah, he had the start, and we'll talk about him in the next half inning even more, but had the start through 1 inning in the All-Star game and did not allow a hit, 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout as well against a good North squad that was led off by Augie Isaacson, the leader in batting average for the Northwoods League. The last outing for Morrell, the Mallards starting pitcher, 1 run allowed, it was not earned, and 4 strikeouts to 3 walks, no hits in 5 innings pitched. So first pitch swung on by Kay Bonnell down the right field line, and it will be a diving attempt by the right fielder Randa, and it will fall safely out of play. So count goes 0-1 for Kay Bonnell. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Rockford Rivets. Bonnell bats first. He's the DH. Kean O'Brien second at first. Parker Bates batting in the 3-spot center field. Vanderwall cleanup in right field. Seagal will be the shortstop. Parker Kelly third base. And Logan Michaels. Tim Lilly, the return of Timmy Lilly, and Brennan Reback rounds it out. Joe, a lot of things to look for. What is your take as, again, Kay Bonnell fouls it off, and again it finds its way out of play down the right field line? Joe, what can you expect from this All-Star or this post-All-Star game lineup out of the Rockford Rivets?
Well, I think that the bats need to get going at some point, as I mentioned before the game. It should be interesting to see how Tim Lilly does coming into this game after coming back to the Rivets right now. Had a pretty solid season for the Rivets before he left. Only, I think we both talked, his last game was June 16th, so it should be interesting batting in the 8 spot today. So won't see as many at-bats as opposed to some of the other players in the lineup, but definitely nice to have him back. And his teammates were very happy, too.
Yeah, ball goes outside. We were there when he showed up at the Great Dane pub where we ate the pregame meal, and when he walked in, got a rousing ovation. And now he finds his way into the starting lineup. Another ball goes outside there. 2-2 is the count for Morrell versus Bunnell. Bunnell, one of 3 Madison area natives in this starting lineup. And how do you think it feels for them playing in their hometown, in front of probably some friends and family? As that one's hit to the shortstop and then juggled and dropped. Let's see what that will go down as.
Should be an E6, I would think.
That'll be an E6, yes, sir, on the shortstop keeper. So the leadoff man will reach, and we were just talking about it. Tim Lilly, he doesn't lead a lot of categories or any categories for the Rockford Rivets, but he does lead most times reached on error this year by any Rivet, even though he's missed over a month. What do you think it takes for a guy to get on base so many times on an error? Is it luck or is there a little skill involved?
Well, I think that something that Brian Smith hits on a lot as O'Brien fouls that one off is just putting the ball in play and making the defense make a play. And as you mentioned, getting on base mostly because of errors, not mostly because of errors, but the most out of any other player because of errors. And, yeah, manager Brian Smith even said it, just putting the ball in play, making the defense make a play, and giving your team a chance. Yeah,
and also it requires a little hustle because if somebody bobbles it enough and you're able to just beat it out, it might, it's up to the scorer's decision.
Yeah,
and they might
as we saw right there with Cade Bunnell getting on right away, as reaching on an error. I think he'll take anything at this point in the season.
Yeah, putting pressure and putting the leadoff runner aboard, which is really critical. That's something the Rivets have struggled with, is a lot of times they get out to start off a game. That ball goes inside. Count is 2-1 now for Kean O'Brien, another Madison native to play in front of his home crowd tonight. And Logan Michaels, the catcher for the Rockford Rivets, is another Rivet playing in front of a friendly crowd, at least a little bit. And I'm sure some of the fans here know their names and, might be able to put 2 and 2 together, but most of them just see the Rivets uniform on them and for that reason aren't going to treat them very nicely.
Yeah, a lot of loyal fans here in Madison as well, and a lot of returning fans, so I wouldn't be surprised if they recognize the names.
That one swung on, weak blooper, and Keeber makes up for his error by getting it out there in shallow left field.
Good at bat from Kean O'Brien, despite flying out to the shortstop there, getting the count going. One thing about the Rivets so far this year is they tend to be a little overly aggressive at the plate and don't work as many counts as they should. And right there, O'Brien working a 3-1 count. Seeing a pitch he liked, obviously didn't get the result he wanted, though.
Now Parker Bates makes his way up, lefty on righty matchup. Pretty lefty-heavy lineup. And that first pitch is swinging again, shallow left field. And again, Keeper camps under it for a one-pitch pop-out for out number 2.
Yeah, Keeper's been busy so far today. All 3 plays have involved him.
And that's a good time to take a look at the defensive lineup, even though we've only been saying Keeper's name. Ober, Campbell, Randa make up the outfield. The infield's playing Tier, Keeper, Schwecke, and Vinsky. And behind the plate is Jesse Forstel catching the balls and strikes from the pitcher Morrell. Yeah, Vanderwall makes his way up now.
I think it's important for Vanderwall to see a couple pitches here, have himself a good at-bat. Getting that leadoff runner on, definitely important to try to move him over in some way.
Count goes 1-0 there on a pitch outside to the Central Arizona outfielder. We were talking with Rob Shadow, the play-by-play guy for the Madison Mallards before the game, and, when you talk about this outfield, as that one misses, count goes 2-0. When you talk about this outfield, it's just been a myriad of peaks and valleys for all the Rivets outfielders. Brendan Reback started the year off hot, and then Vanderwall was hot in the middle of the season. Now it's Ryan Cole's turn to be hot. But Vanderwall, when the last time the Rivets saw the Mallards, Rob Shadow said that Vanderwall, as that one's ripped foul down the right field line, he said Vanderwall was the guy that he would have thought if we had any position players make the All-Star game, it would have been Vandy. But right after that series got done, as I think Vanderwall broke his bat and he's going to go over and get a new one, right after we finished seeing the Mallards, Vanderwall kind of fell off. His road hit streak got broken, and then since then, he's been struggling to find his groove again. What does it take to get all these outfielders on the same page? Because if we have games where Reback, Vandy, and Cole are clicking, we're unbeatable.
Oh, it would definitely be a dangerous situation for any team who's playing us. And like you said, it's hard to get all those guys clicking, getting on the same page here. Cole's been hot as of late. Reback starting the year so hot. And Vanderwall middle of the season. It seems like it's all been spaced out perfectly between the three of them. Cole not in the lineup tonight, but Vanderwall in a short right field today. So hopefully maybe he can get something going, get himself maybe his first home run in a long time.
Here's a 2-1. His only home run of the year came against the Green Bay Bullfrogs. That pitch goes outside. Counts now a big hitter's count at 3-1. 2 outs here. And Bunnell still on first base. And, you know, I'm sure he would love to get some power. He plays in a wood bat league, and he's shown that he has power at Central Arizona, just not been able to find it this year. And that one's going to miss low and inside, and it will be a 5-pitch walk for Jacob Vanderwall. Bunnell's going to move to scoring position. Now Zach Segal will make his way up. Runners on first and second. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Joe, right now, other than that walk, after a leadoff man gets on base in Bunnell, we see 2 weak pop-ups that really don't do anything. What does Segal have to do here to get a base hit and maybe get Bunnell home, or at least keep this inning alive and help the Rivets to strike first?
Well, I think do what Vanderwall just did. Get yourself a count going, working a 3-1 count, and then getting the walk. Keenan O'Brien did the exact same thing. Unfortunately, he popped out, but he had a pretty good at-bat there after that. Bates rushing a little bit on that first pitch. So I think just waiting for your pitch and not necessarily jumping on the first pitch if you absolutely have to. And that's what he does.
And that one's going to go left field. Backing up is the left fielder, Ober, and robs the home run there. I think that one might have gone over the fence if he wasn't standing in the way. As a short left field fence there, and a good swing by Segal, but not enough for the 3-run homer. Morale gets out of the inning untouched. We'll be right back for the first look at Cooper Kane post All-Star break. Back here, bottom of the first inning. Joe, we mentioned a pitching duel, and you said some of Cooper Kane's stats. 1-2 overall, but that's not where you get the full story. 1.34 ERA, 7 games started, 47 innings pitched, and 50 strikeouts to 14 walks. Joe, what do you expect from the All-Star starter a few days ago, Cooper Kane, tonight?
That one's bunted down the left field line. That's going to be a nice play, and safe there. First is Campbell, so very heads-up play there from the leadoff hitter, Campbell. But for Cooper Kane, I think that his biggest thing that he's been doing all year is just consistently throwing strikes. And whenever I talk to him, that's what he owes a lot of his success to this year, is just pounding the strike zone. And I think that manager Brian Smith can vouch for him for that. And obviously he was a starter for the South Division, the All-Star game, so there was a reason he was there. And like you mentioned, pitched an inning, 1 strikeout, no hits, so let's see if he can keep that trend up.
And the pitcher, as that one misses the zone, count goes 1-0. I think for a second down that bunt down the left field line, or down the third base line, I think Parker Kelly might have thought for a sec that he was going to let that roll foul, but it just did not ever curl, and there's a big swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1, but it is interesting to note that he just hit that 90 miles per hour on that pitch. Count goes 1-1. That one's going to hit the strike zone, called strike. Interesting to note that Donnie Scott, the manager of the Madison Mallards, was also the manager of the South Division, so he did make the call to start Cooper Kane. Called him after they played Fond du Lac last week and said, I want Cooper to start, and that one's hitting to left field. And rounding hard is Campbell. And the throw from the center fielder, Parker Bates, gets all the way to the third baseman. And it's Bark in the Park night, and it's instead of a bat boy, it's a bat dog. Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
You got to love that. I mean, I saw that the first time, and I couldn't believe my eyes, Scott. That's just some good stuff right there.
That's good stuff. Hey, really in theme for Bark in the Park night. Really knowing the audience.
How can you be upset when there's just dogs running around?
Runners on first and second right now. No outs. Jake Randa making his way up. Northwest Florida State outfielder. Good friends with Brock Mathis, who was a part of this Rivets team to start the year and had to go home due to a family emergency, but really lighten it up in all phases of the game. And for a guy from Northwest Florida State to be dominating on one of the best teams in one of the best leagues in the country, what does that say about just the wealth of talent across the board for baseball in general?
Yeah, I think that one thing we've both noticed throughout the season is that you don't have to be a Division I player to be a successful baseball player. And schools like Northwest Florida State, and there's plenty of names that we could list off. Central Arizona. We got 2 players, Brennan Reback and Vanderwall, on our team who are very successful for us this year. And yeah, I mean, you don't have to go to a big school. As Randa cranks that one to right field, Vanderwall's going to make the catch, throw that one in for out number 1, but arid relay throw there too.
And Campbell tags up there.
Yeah, it definitely just goes to show there's talent anywhere throughout the country, and I think that's why being a baseball scout might be one of the most difficult jobs in the world, is being able to find some of these players.
Yeah, a lot of talent everywhere, and we see Northwest Florida State guys all over the place. Central Arizona has made their mark, with the Rivets especially being 2 of the key players, 2 outfielders, left fielder and right fielder today, both there. Tyler Plantier makes his way up. Runners on the corners with 1 out. First pitch in there for a called strike. Count goes 0-1 right now. Cooper Kane, back to the conversation on him. After his first 4 games, just out of this world numbers, as that one swung on, foul back. So he's ahead 0-2 right now versus Plantier, who can belt home runs. Keep an eye out for that. But after his first 4 games, 2 against Fond du Lac, 1 against Green Bay, and 1 against Madison. He threw 8 innings scoreless against Madison. After that Madison game, a .099 opposing batting average and a whip of 0.54. That one's fouled back. So staying alive. Joe, after seeing him for the first 4 times, could you believe that this guy was D2?
No, not at all. I mean, I don't know if he's going to ride out his career for a Division II school, but I definitely could see Cooper Kane playing at the next level just because of his consistency out on the mound. As Plantier cranks that one to left field, and that one looks like it's going to just go foul.
Foul ball, wow.
Yeah, Reback was looking up at that one. I thought that one was for sure gone, but before I get to that point, another point is just think about this, the heart of the order here for the Mallards. You got Jake Randa batting .227, Plantier batting .315, Schwecke batting 298. Vinsky, who's up next, batting 293. I mean, it can't be easy for even as good of a pitcher as Cooper Kane.
12 home runs here for Tyler Plantier as well, as he fouls that one the opposite way. So we wouldn't have really been surprised if that ball would have gone fair down that left field line. A very hitter-friendly ballpark, but still 12 home runs is just an out-of-this-world amount. And he didn't win the All-Star, or he didn't win the Home Run Derby last time, or on last Tuesday, as he swings and misses and strikes out there. So Cooper Kane takes away the sacrifice opportunity, and that was a 90-mile-per-hour fastball from the Valdosta State junior to be. And I mean, there's a lot of good home run hitters in the South Division. A lot of them reside here in Madison and in Kalamazoo. Zach Daniels, the Kalamazoo outfielder, was the man that won that home run derby. And now Vinsky makes his way up. 15th pitch of the inning for Cooper Kane is fouled down the left field line. Count goes 0-1.
And boy, this would be huge for Cooper Kane, especially this early in the game, to get this last final out. Runners on the corner right here with 2 outs. Even a big strikeout there, being able to strike out Plantier with 1 out and on the corners, and got himself in a good position here so far.
Runner over on first, Schwecke is going, but that one's fouled back. Count now 0-2. Cooper Kane 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, and it has been an episode that we've seen so many times, especially in this second half. Just struggling with 2 outs. The other team has had clutch batting scenarios like this where they've been able to pull through and get a hit and get runs across. That one's swung on, foul down the left field line.
Yeah, and right now Kane about to throw his 18th pitch of the inning. We do have runners on the corners, and it feels like this inning might have gone longer. Back-to-back base hits to start off, but 18 pitches in 1 inning, not too bad.
The 0-2 coming now to David Vinsky. Swung on, just got enough of it to foul it back behind home plate there. And, I mean, you take a look at his last 2 games. If we throw away the All-Star game, because that was kind of a scrap because of the fact they only pitched 1 inning, and it was an All-Star game, obviously, and 15 different pitchers were used that game. That one swung on, high ball to left field. Vanderwall going to run over, and it's going to land fair over there down the right field line. And the runners will score from third and from first, so a 2 RBI double there, and it kind of seemed like Vanderwall, I don't know, did he give up on it running over there?
I couldn't really tell from right here, but
it looked right away that it was something you could chalk up as a fly out there, but Vanderwall kind of running hard, but
maybe misjudged that ball a little bit.
Maybe it just took off on him, and then maybe he thought it was going to go foul, as he could probably tell that the run or the wall was approaching as Cooper Kane misses with the first pitch there, and clutch batting right there, finding one spot where the defense couldn't be in time, and it turns out into a 2 RBI double for David Vinsky.
Yeah, that right field corner, there's a lot of stuff going on in that corner, and that might have thrown Vanderwall off a little bit there. Like you mentioned, I about had that marked down as a fly out to the right fielder, but nice job by Campbell and Schwecke there running hard and being able to get both runs across for the Mallards. But tough situation there for Cooper Kane and Vanderwall.
And it worked out well, as that one's outside and in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1 now. It worked out well for the Mallards, because if there's not 2 outs there, I'm thinking that both runners are staying where they are, and the run, no doubt, is not able to score from first. Probably only gets to second because he thinks that there's a good chance it gets caught. That one hits the outside corner. Count now 2-2. For Drew Ober, who's batting 6th in the order here. He's got a runner on second, a chance to push some run across there and lead and extend the lead. That one will get by Logan Michaels, and he blocked it enough to keep it fairly close, but not close enough. And advancing on the play on the wild pitch will be David Vinsky to third base now. Full count pitch coming to Drew Oberbat, 287 with 1 home run on the year. 17 ribbies. That one swung on, just foul down the first base line. Count stays 3-2. 25th pitch of the inning now for Cooper Kane, and now with that hit falling down the right field line, it gives new life to this Mallards offense, now threatening to score as that one will miss, and the count expires. Ober will walk to first, and again, runners on the corners with 2 outs here. And with Andrew Baker, the DH from Florida, coming up, a critical at-bat here for Cooper Kane, just trying to get out of this inning more than anything else.
You can tell that play that scored 2 runs for the Mallards really threw him off a little bit there on the mound. Looked really frustrated after that last walk as well. Got the count full, but definitely frustrated. Let's see if he can get himself out of this situation and keep it under 35 pitches.
That one's going to miss inside, and good snag there by Logan Michaels behind the plate. Count goes 1-0. That one hits the strike zone. Count goes 1-1. 88-mile-per-hour fastball there from Cooper Kane. And I'm sure at this point in the pitch count with 28 for Cooper Kane, I'm sure Johnny Scott is telling his guys, feel free to take your time with these these at-bats. And, you don't need to swing at everyone, because everyone you don't swing at, it drives Cooper Kane's pitch count up 1 more. 30th pitch upcoming. Yeah,
Kane right now with a 1-2 count. Could have a big strikeout coming here, or maybe even just trying to pitch for contact, but knowing how aggressive of a pitcher he is. So that one bounces right in front of home, and Ober advances to second there on
the wild pitch. Count now 2-2. Good block by Logan Michaels to keep Vinsky at bay over at third. But nonetheless, count goes 2-2 with 2 outs for Andrew Baker, who's batting .402 this year. Out of Florida, showed up late. This is the first time the Rivets have seen him. That one hit up the middle. Chance for Seagal over at short. And the on-point throw gets him out of the inning for out number 3. But 2 come across for Madison, but they leave 2 stranded in scoring position. We'll be right back. First pitch to Parker Kelly is in there for a called strike. Count goes 0-1, 2-0 early on the 2 RBI double by David Finsky. Parker Kelly, the Texas Tech infielder. First chance to retort, and that one's ripped down the left field line. Fair ball. It's going to get down for at least 1 and then get by the left fielder, Ober, who fumbles it in the corner. and throws it in time. And so Parker Kelly right away, a stand-up double to get us started here, top of the second. And maybe if Ober's able to get over there in time and be able to snag it right away, Kelly doesn't make that a double, but man, he turns it into 2 there.
Yeah, how about Parker Kelly coming out and being aggressive, seeing the first pitch he saw, taking it to left field for his second double of the season.
Yeah, Parker Kelly, I mean, we were talking about different guys in the lineup, and in terms of third baseman, Parker Kelly defensively really strong, as that one misses outside for Logan Michaels, catcher from Madison College, transferring to Virginia next year. Parker Kelly, very strong defensively, and then at the plate, his bat hasn't really come around yet, but he has a really good eye, and he knows how to get on base, and he comes through in clutch situations with at least getting walks. This is a high ball to left field. Backing up is Ober, and another robbed home run by Drew Ober. Wow.
Yeah, the first one was one that you could call robbed, but he didn't really have to make a play on that much from Zach Sagal in the first inning. But that one, that was a very impressive catch there, as he had to leap just over the left field wall there and rob Michaels of his first home run of the year.
Second home run
of the year.
He hit one in Fond du Lac in the top of the 9th pretty recently. But, yeah, that was a true robbery right there. The other one, the way the field is situated here at Warner Park in Madison, Wisconsin, is the wall is short right away in left field, and then it juts out and it gets a little bit longer.
High,
yeah, it's not that long. You can make a play over it standing up. And that time, it was over the tall part, which probably about 8
or 9
feet up there. As the first pitch to Tim Lilly since June 16th?
16th, yep.
16th. That one misses outside. First pitch was a strike. Count goes 1-1 for Tim Lilly, who, Joe, I mean, talk about Tim. What do you think we can expect from him in his first game back in a Rivets uniform?
Well, I'm sure manager Brian Smith is just hoping for a guy who can get on base. Like right now, big situation for him in his first at-bat back. And right there, it takes ball 2, count goes 2-1. But having a runner in scoring position, right now I think that it's just nice for the team to see a familiar face, and maybe that'll get them going, especially if he can get a clutch hit here to lower this deficit right here for the Rivets.
The 2-1, that one swung on and missed. Batting .259 on the year, 6 ribbies, .373 on base percentage. He's, he's had some ups and downs this year, and he was pretty solid. Also, most times reached on error. He's got some sneaky speed, and I think the one thing that he just enjoyed about playing in Rockford so much was being able to win, because we were talking before the game, he struggled this year. The Villanova Wildcats struggled as he swings and misses there. The Wildcats struggled. They won 9 games all year, and I'm sure it was tough to be a part of that. But in the games that he appeared for in the Rivets this year, they were 9-7, and as many wins as he got all year. And I think the bottom line is, when I was right next to him on the bus when Brian Smith told him that he was going to have to let him go and that it would be an option for him to come back later in the summer. That was the first thing he asked. First of all, he didn't ask why. He didn't ask, what he could have done to make it differently, as Brendan Reback just narrowly misses that one. Count goes 1-0 to Central Arizona outfielder. He asked, first of all, is it an option for me to come back later in the year if you need me? Second of all, I enjoyed this because, I got to know you guys, I got to travel around, and I got to play baseball. And that's the kind of guy Tim Lilly is. He's grateful for every opportunity, and Brian Smith is really lucky that he's around the Chicago area. Glen Ellen, Illinois, I believe, is where he's from, and he's around the Chicago area. And as soon as Brian Smith gave him the call up, he was in his car getting ready to play some more baseball with the Rivets and hopefully finish out the year.
Yeah, and Rockford was playing their best baseball of the year when he was actually on the team. I believe their record was 9-7 when he was last on the team before he did get let go of. But as we mentioned at the beginning of the year, Rivets playing some better baseball, and Lilly was on the team for that.
Yeah, it could be one of those things that, he has just as much of a difference in the clubhouse as he does on the field, because, he was an above-average player for a struggling Villanova team, and but just the effect that he has, and we saw when he showed up the effect that all the guys had that had been here before when they saw him. You know, they were glad to see Tim Willie back.
Standing
on the
ovation
team.
in a sense. I think it was just definitely for the Rivets right now in struggling times. Nice to see a familiar face.
2-1. That one swung on. Weak contact from Brennan Reback over to third base, and Plantier will make the snag for out number 3. So again, the leadoff batter gets aboard, and again, the Rockford Rivets can't bring him home. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second. Jesse Forstell fouls the first pitch off of his leg, so count goes 0-1 for the catcher out of Western Michigan. The 0-1 now from Cooper Kane to Forstell. Misses low in the strike zone at 85. Count now even at 1-1. The Mallards lead 2-0 off of David Vinsky. 2 RBI double that just plopped fair down the right field line. That one misses just inside. Count now 2-1. Joe, so far this game, the leadoff batters have been aboard. The Rivets have had runners in scoring position both inning. A nice off-speed pitch there at 77 for a swing and a miss. But, you know, this is the kind of Rivets baseball we saw before the All-Star break, not having clutch hitting. Meanwhile, Madison, what do you have to say about that?
I think that the Mallards just do, and this is why they're one of the better teams in the league, just putting the ball in play in situations where you have runners in scoring position. You don't always need to get a hit. Just put the ball in play, make the defense make a play. I know I feel like a broken record when I say that, but Logan Michaels having that big hit that got robbed by the left fielder for the Mallards, Drew Ober, but after that couldn't really get anything going on offense, especially after a nice leadoff double from Parker Kelly. But as you mentioned, the struggles continue for the Rockford Rivets with runners in scoring position.
A strike and a ball makes the count 1-1 for the number 9 batter for the Madison Mallards, Garrett Kieber. That one swung on, foul back, and out of play. Count now. Hitters count at pitchers count at 1-2. 40th pitch of the day upcoming for Cooper Kane. He had 31 in the first inning. So, I mean, we were talking about it. I think we'd be lucky to see 5 innings or so from Cooper, as that one misses. Count goes even now at 2-2.
Rivets manager Brian Smith, one not to abuse the arms of his pitchers, especially being a pitcher himself back in the day.
2-2, swung on and hit it and fouled back. Count stays 2-2. Cooper Kane stands 6'3", 230 pounds. Mentioned from Valdosta State, Jacksonville, Florida native. Throws with his right hand. Here's the 2-2. That one swung on and fouled back again by Keeber, staying alive in this count and driving up the pitching total for Cooper Kane.
Yeah, every pitch matters right now for him, especially after having that inning of work in the All-Star game as he gets strike 3 there.
Another forwards K for the Valdosta State pitcher, and showing why he was the starter in the All-Star game. Yes, both of those runs go down as earned on him, but really, you know, if there's a good defensive play made by Vanderwall there, it's
whole different story for
Kane.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one thing that Kane has so much success is his breaking ball has such late break to it, and obviously he throws a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, which doesn't hurt at all as Campbell fouls that one off. But his breaking ball has such late break, and it fools batters so much to the point where it gets them on their heels, and I think that's why he's had the success he's had this year between his combination of his fastball and that late breaking ball.
That one again. Second time this inning we've seen a foul off go off of somebody's foot. A little less of kind of a shock, I guess, from Drew Campbell as he's kind of just walked a little circle there to walk it off. Count goes 0-2 now for Campbell. 1 for 1 today with that bunt for a hit down the left field line to start us off. Last inning, that ball goes high and outside, gets away from the glove of Logan Michaels. Count goes 1-2.
Making quick work of this Mallards lineup right here is Cooper Kane. Let's see if we can get one more strike and strike out the side here.
He'll set and deal. Just off the outside of the plate. Count goes 2-2. Another 77-mile-per-hour breaking ball from the Valdosta State pitcher.
And he's so good at locating that breaking ball, especially against left-handed hitters on that outside corner.
The 2-2 now swung on, ripped to shallow right field, and fallen down for a hit, so he will not strike out the side. Instead, 4th hit of the game for the Madison Mallards. Will put one on with 2 outs.
Campbell batting .320 in the year, 2 hits today. And I know I mentioned it already, but man, you look at this 1 through 5 hitters for the Mallards. You got Campbell batting .320, Schwecke 298, and Campbell also leading the team in stolen bases as well for the Mallards. I believe he's got 5 stolen bases on I think we were thinking of Schwecke. That's who we were thinking of. Schwecke leads the team.
Well, Campbell's going, and a wild pitch.
Good call, though. Good call. That was still a good call.
We'll get him going there. It was not a wild pitch. I believe it's just going to go down as steal, maybe. Do you have the official scoring up there?
I do.
Let me know when you know.
Let's check her out
what
here.
That'll be scored as. It'll be counted as a stolen base there. Count goes 1-0.
Yeah, this Mallards lineup does kind of do it all, especially at the front end. The top 2 clearly very good at running the bases.
There's an inside fastball at 89, swung on and missed. Count goes 1-1 now. Schwecke just saw the 50th pitch from Cooper Kane today already through 2 innings, and you're forced to come out if you go over 200, so he could be done without going more than 4 innings as that one's fouled back if he keeps on this pace. And breaking news just now, Cole Hamels just went to the Cubs.
For?
Do not have they just have a deal in place to acquire him as another stolen base there.
Me being a Cubs fan, I'm obviously curious in that, so I will have to search the Twitter sphere.
What do you think of that trade?
I would have to look up Hamel's stats on the season, but me personally, I want to know where he's going to be plugged in at. I'm sure he'll fill in for where Montgomery has been pitching for the Cubs this year. I could keep going on and on about this, but I'll keep it short. But it'll be nice to have another guy in that. I think Hamel's actually threw a no-hitter against the Cubs a couple years ago.
Campbell on third now after stealing a base, and a nice catch by Parker Bates in center field to end the inning scoreless, and a tip of the cap from Cooper Kane. Will be right back for the top of the third. back here, and a ball starts off Cade Bunnell's second at bat, 0 for 1 today with that E6 to start it off. Error by the shortstop Garrett Keeper. Now the 1-0 coming from Morrell to Bunnell. That one again goes low and out of the grasp of the catcher Forstell. Count goes 2-0 now for Cade Bunnell. Bunnell played for the Madison Mallards last year, and we saw it the first time the Rivets played the Mallards. He knew a lot of people. He was saying hi to the game day staff here and stuff on the concourse, and so he definitely left a mark here. And he's a friendly guy. He's a funny guy. A lot of people voted him for the funniest teammate survey that the Rivets did. He's going to see a 2-1 now. That one misses. What kind of effect, I mean, we've talked about the hometown Madison guys. What kind of effect do you think that has, being able to play in a ballpark that you're comfortable playing in?
I think it's definitely special for these guys to come back right away. We see Bunnell and O'Brien talking to some of their former teammates right when we walk in today into the stadium, and it's got to be fun to be in this atmosphere as he takes ball 4 there to get the leadoff walk for the Rivets. But going back anywhere, even if you're a former player for a team, is just fun. Normally it's fun, unless you're Kevin Durant going back to Oklahoma City when you joined the Golden State Warriors. But other than that, I could imagine it's always fun to go back to a place where you first started off and got some experience.
Ironically, I just got a notification as well. It wasn't as important as the Cole Hamels notification, but it was DeMar DeRozan saying that he is, quote-unquote, done with the Raptors GM and that he will circle that game on his calendar. So there's definitely more bitter returns to former teams than I think what Cade Bunnell is going through when he heads back here to Madison. I think it's you know, all friendly, right, and he's just glad to play in front of some friends and family.
I really hope that DeMar DeRozan feels like he did a lot right there by tweeting that.
And there's going to be a hit by Keane O'Brien, so that would get Cade Bunnell. So we got 2 Madison boys on first and second in Rivets uniforms. That might have been confusing. I apologize. 2 Rivets that are from Madison.
There you go.
On first and second. Leadoff walk by Mr. Cade Bunnell, and then a base hit by Keane O'Brien. And now Parker Bates with a big chance here to do something with no outs, runners on first and second.
Let's see what the Rivets are going to do here. Big situation again, pretty much the exact same situation. And that's what I was wondering right there, as Bates shows bunt but then pulls back as if playing small ball here after struggling to get that run in after getting the leadoff double in the previous inning.
We got a pitching coach coming out here for Madison. They're going to talk this one over after that first pitch. They were probably looking to see what the Rockford Rivets were going to do, and Parker Bates. Let's take a look at the scoreboard right now. A doubleheader being played in Kenosha after the second game of the year was rained out in Kenosha with the score 5-0 in advantage of Battle Creek in the top of the second inning. It was just picked up. Battle Creek finished that one off 8-6, so a long layover for that game, but they were able to finish it off, and they finished that win. Right. I was talking with Cam and Gabe, the 2 Bomber announcers that we'll see in a couple weeks for our final games against them, and they said you could pretty much chalk that one down as a win, and they made it close, only won by 2, but they got the dub. Waterloo beating Duluth 2-0. La Crosse over Eau Claire 3-2 as the conversation is over on the mound, so we'll keep tabs on that one. That one ripped down the right field line. That's a fair ball. One will score. Cade Bunnell scores easily. Keane O'Brien with the ball. All sorts of trouble, and the throw to third is way over the head and out of play, and it'll be I don't think it'll be scored as inside the park home run, but an error there over the head of the third baseman will make it a little league inside the park home run at least.
Very good term right there.
And a three-run shot down the right field line. Wow. Keane O'Brien scored easily. Cade Bunnell scored easily. And Parker Bates was into third pretty easily. And just an errant throw. I believe the cutoff man was the second baseman, Schwecke. So I think that's what that'll go down, scored as a triple and then an E4 as the first pitch by Vanderwall goes out of play. But nonetheless, the Rivets take a 3-2 lead here.
That was a very interesting series of events there. But again, we talked at the beginning of the game. It all started with Parker Bates putting the ball in play. And something's going to go right if you put the ball in play most of the time right there. Obviously, that's going to go down as a double. But you need all 3 runs across. That's crazy.
Triple and E6 is what it will go down as. So, Little League home run is what I'm going to call it as. That's what we're going to tweet out at the end of this inning.
Because if I'm 12 years old and that happens to me in a game, I'm telling my friends it's a home run.
I'm telling my friends, hey, yeah, I hit a home run this weekend.
It was sick.
Strike 3 on Jacob Vanderwall. And a bases clearing triple home run.
Again, you put the ball in play, something's good. Something good is going to happen. Nice job by Parker Bates there. And honestly, I looked down for about a half a second, and I couldn't tell who that was on third base. He told me it was Parker Bates, and I'm like, wow, this is about time something goes the Rivets' way. They definitely were due for that.
Yeah, 3-pitch strikeout there to Jacob Vanderwall. Kind of breaks up the momentum a little bit, and called strike in there to to Segal. So he's behind 0-1. But nonetheless, the Rivets have the lead right now in Madison, which is a hard place to play for sure, in front of 6,000-7,000 people here. Barking the Park night, so playing a bunch of dogs out here, man.
Hey,
and I'm not calling the people in Madison dogs.
Don't need no
There's
cats.
Actual dogs here.
We need more dogs.
That one's outside. Count goes 2-1 for Segal now.
Do you get that reference?
I don't think so.
I'll show you. YouTube. We'll YouTube after this inning. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, jeez. 2-1 is inside. Count now 3-1 for Segal. He's threatening to get on base. That play, I don't.
Yeah, that one ripped.
I mean,
something that I can't imagine happens to a team as good as the Mallards normally.
The thing about that is Vinsky is playing on first. As that one misses a strike zone, it will be a 5-pitch walk to Zach Segal after getting a called strike on the first pitch. So Parker Kelly, who's 1 for 1 with a double today, makes his way up. The thing about that play is that was ripped right by the first baseman, Vinsky. If he gets a glove to that and slaps that down,
whole different story.
He probably is able to scamper up and at least get one out at first,
right.
Maybe be able to throw it to second for 2. Instead, it turns into a 3-run swing. And, I mean, that's the game of baseball, though. That's any sporting game, really. I mean, it's a game of inches. One slight difference, and you're looking at a whole new ball game. Now runner on first, 1 out for the Rockford Rivets, up 3-2. Called strike there to Parker Kelly. He's behind 0-1.
Yeah. It's about time something goes right for the Rockford Rivets. And talking about how a couple steps away right there as Vinsky could have easily gotten an out, but in the first inning, as Parker Kelly fouls that one off, if Jacob Vanderwall comes up with that catch, you know, the Mallards might not have 2 runs across the board. So definitely an interesting game so far here in Madison.
That was a play. I mean, that Vanderwall play, it just seemed like a play that, you know, has defined the Rivets season, not being able to come up with a catch in situations like that. And it's nothing on Vanderwall. It just fell right out of his glove. Segal will try and steal, and an errant throw there, but safe over at second. Wow. And the crowd doesn't like it there. And I believe it was called ball. So count 1 and 2. The throw is a little bit high, but a good play by the second baseman, Schwecke, and just not able to put that tag on in time. Just got a fingertip in there. Segal, I believe that's his first stolen base of the year. Do you have any affirmation on that for me?
I will let you know right now. In 2 seconds. In maybe 5 seconds.
1 and 2 count to
it is
Parker
first
Kelly.
Stolen base of the year.
Hit right back to Morale, who will toss to first for out number 1. First stolen base for the Stanford infielder. Good to see that from him. And now Logan Michaels makes his way up. I don't know if you heard that, a little bit of an ovation for Logan Michaels here. He's got a fan club here in Madison, as he knows quite a few people here, including his family.
They definitely pretty close to his family, I would think. He is from Madison.
The count goes 1-0 for Logan Michaels.
Previously went to Madison College.
Transferring all the way to Virginia, so you know, playing baseball close to home, and, you know, continued success is wished from us to him as he continues his baseball career. Getting a good education at Madison, or at Virginia, upcoming, and I'm sure his entire family is very proud of the opportunities that he's earned through working hard and playing good baseball. 1-1 coming out of Logan Michaels. 2 outs here. That one swung on, enough contact to crank that one opposite side and foul. Another one too long, inning for Morrell. This will be his 25th pitch. He's up at 54 on the day. A Bates triple that turned into an inside the park home run of sorts. Ooh, nice snag over there. Originally it was a wild pitch, but a good recovery from Forstell catches Segal trying to snag third base, and that's the end of the inning. Logan Michaels will get a chance to continue at the top of the fourth, but first the Rivets will go into the bottom of the third with the lead. Let's see what Cooper Kane does with it. Back here, Cooper Kane now with one of a rare opportunity for him in line for a win. Obviously, he needs to get through 5 innings, and his team needs to keep the lead and win the game, which is much easier said than done against this Mallard squad. But Cooper Kane at 55 pitches right now, it would be a shame if his offense gets enough done and he can't, if he goes through 4 2/3 or 4 innings, something like that, as that one's ripped. And it will get down in the gap for a base hit, so Randa not making it any easier. As Cooper Kane fielding well there on an errant throw by the left fielder Reback.
Again, if anyone this season for the Rivets, pitching-wise, deserves some run support, it's Cooper Kane.
Tyler Plantier makes his way up now, struck out his last time up after just curling one foul. And the first pitch from Cooper Kane's a wild pitch. And Randa will advance easily to second.
And again, getting a win, pretty big here for Cooper Kane, but I mean, we're knocking on wood as much as we can here, but getting a win against the Madison Mallards with this lineup would be even more important, and definitely a big accomplishment for him and the Rivets.
I mean, he had pretty much the best stat line I think a pitcher has had against the Mallards this year. 8 innings, no runs allowed, and the game ended up going 14 scoreless.
We did that game together, I believe.
Scoreless,
yeah.
And then eventually Plantier was the man that popped across the 2 runs in the top of the 14th to give the Mallards the win, but I mean, talk about doing all you can do and not getting run support. 8 innings and not being able to get it done. It's tough to see from a pitcher like Cooper Kane who puts his heart on the line every time he goes out and plays. That one will get away again, and so 2 wild pitches will advance Randa from first to third. And just like that, after talking about Cooper Kane being in the position to win, the tying run is 90 feet away.
Again, I was talking earlier about that breaking ball from Cooper Kane. Not easy for the batters to keep up with. Logan Michaels having some trouble behind the plate right now. Couple pass balls leading to runner in scoring position on third right away for the Mallards.
And that one will miscount. Is expired, a 4-1 walk there. Runners on the corners are Randa and Plantier. Now David Vinsky makes his way up.
Right now Kane at 61 pitches. And you know, in 3 innings, no outs, but definitely manageable for the Rivets starter right now in this situation. And I don't think that Rivets manager Brian Smith would even consider taking him out anytime soon, especially with how good he's done since that first inning. As that one's fouled off there.
Yeah, that one's fouled off. And it's the man who last time with runners on the corners came through with a clutch double down the right field line to give the Mallards the early lead. David Finsky out of Northwood. That one swung on again, fouled away. Count now 0-2 for Cooper Kane at 63 now. A lot of options out of the bullpen, too, for the Rockford Rivets. I'm sure they're not talking about it quite yet. Probably it'll be an inning or 2 more for Cooper Kane, but a lot of different options that you see out of the bullpen, especially after the All-Star break. That one misses the zone, and a tough one for the home plate umpire to call on an 0-2 pitch there, but it just was right in that buffer zone where probably if it's a 3-0 pitch, it gets called a strike. An 0-2 pitch, it'll get called a ball.
Yeah, Michael's doing his best job of framing that one, but no luck.
1-2. That one swung on and missed, and Cooper Kane says, if I can't get you looking, I'll get you swinging. And the first out is a forwards K for Vinsky. Drew Ober making his way up now. He benefited from the fact that Cooper Kane was a little bit rattled off that 2 RBI double last time and was able to earn himself a walk on a gritty at-bat where he kind of let Cooper Kane pitch himself into trouble. And on the full count pitch, drew the walk. First pitch there is a ball to Ober. A walk will load the bases for the man on deck, the DH from Florida, Andrew Baker. Here's the 1-0. That one swung on foul down the first base line. Count goes to 1-1 now. That one misses off the plate. Count now 2-1. Another hitter's count for Drew Ober. Runner on third is Randa. The runner on first is Plantier. Score 3-2. The Rockford Rivets over the Madison Mallards. 2-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. That one swung on to shallow right field. Over it is Vanderwall. The throw and play at the plate. Safe at the plate. Logan Michaels just couldn't get that tag in there in time. And Vanderwall, who usually has a pretty good arm in right field, it was on target, but just a little bit late. And Randa beats it out, sac fly for Drew Ober.
Yeah,
tie ball game here.
I think that Vanderwall, that was a very risky ball to go on in that situation. Randa, that ball not hit that deep, and Vanderwall getting a good angle on it, getting his feet behind him as well. Decent throw, but just a little late.
Runner at second is going. And a close play over there at second, as it was a low throw from Logan Michaels. Cooper Kane thought for a second that it was going to him, and then he got out of the way as he realized the runner over on first, Plantier, was going. And Zach Segal, who's wearing Tim Lilly's old number,
there you go,
got the tag in there. And they both kind of look kind of similar, and they're playing second
they really do
shortstop here.
Yeah.
And I'm just not used to seeing one or the other. This is the first time they've played together, as they did not overlap. That one's going to hit the inside, just a little bit too inside. Count goes 1-1. Zach Segal was pretty confident that that was a out over there on second, that he got the tag in between the foot, and Segal got thrown out last time he was on base in a similar situation where the tag was just in between his foot and the bag, and so I'm sure he's a little bit bitter about that he wasn't able to return the favor on Plantier, who tagged him out over at third. That one ripped, and it'll be down in right field. Plantier will round. Kean O'Brien will cut it off over at first, and the lead is retaken by the Madison Mallards. They're up 4-3 now here in the bottom of the third. And both the runs have been scored with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Hard ground ball just got by Tim Lilly over there at second.
Yeah, it seems like the Madison Mallards just have a good way of finding people who can hit the ball right now. Coming into this game, Andrew Baker batting .462 on the year, and that's only been 13 at-bats, but right now, today, got another hit, and keeping the trend going for him and the Mallards right now as they take a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the third inning, excuse me.
That one goes inside. Good block by Logan Michaels. Count goes to 1-0 for Forstell. Forstell, last time these two teams played here in Warner Park, he hit a home run to the Great Dane duck blind out there in right field. Now he's going to see the 1-0 hitters count from Cooper Kane, who this will be his 75th pitch, and it misses for a ball. Count goes 2-0. Baker is still over there on first. Tough play for Lilly over there on second, as you know, Lilly's able to get a glove to that one, at least knock it down. It definitely doesn't go for an RBI. Maybe he's able to make the play over at first. Instead, it turns into an RBI single from Baker. Called strike there. Count goes 2-1 for Jesse Forstell, batting in the 8th spot. Here's the 2-1. That one on the inside misses. Count now 3-1. 25th pitch of the inning upcoming for Cooper Kane. And you have to think he probably won't make it out of the next inning unless he gets out of this one quick and is able to deal with these guys quickly in the next one. Going over there is Baker. Swung on, and it's going to be down for a hit in between second and first. And the throw is in there to second. Baker, because he was trying to steal second there, he gets all the way to third base on that hit. Well-timed steal attempt. Runners on the corners with 2 outs yet again, and a 4-3 lead for Madison, trying to make it even bigger.
Yeah, and it just, top to bottom of the order for these Mallards, it just amazes me how consistent each one is with hitting the ball. And right now, multiple people in this lineup have a hit for the Madison Mallards tonight or have reached base. And it just seems relentless as Brian Smith goes out to take a mound visit with Cooper Kane.
Logan Michaels in on the conversation as well. As they talk, we'll be right back. back here. First pitch to Garrett Keeper is the ball. Count goes 1-0. What do you think could have been said in that conversation between Brian Smith and Cooper Kane and Logan Michaels there?
And that one's in there for a ball. Well, I think Brian, again, being a very pitching-minded manager, I think he basically just told Cooper, you know, get yourself out of this one. Don't necessarily go for the strikeout. Maybe pitch for contact here with runners in the corners. Trust your defense. Get yourself out of this, and maybe we can get another inning out of you. As that one's lined to right field for another base hit. Another run comes in for the Mallards, and they're going to have
what a
nice
throw by
Vanderwall.
Jacob Vanderwall. Wow. He picked that one up, spun around, and just casually threw out the runner at
Very
third.
casually.
One run comes home, so the score goes 5-3, but an absolute gun from Jacob Vanderwall gets us out of the inning for the throw out at third. 5-3 Mallards. We'll be right back. Scott Gladstone, Joe Byers back here at Warner Park, and we got a pitching change and one that we didn't expect, as I have a hiccup there. Ball goes to Logan Michaels, count goes 1-0. It's Brian Martinez, a JUCO pitcher out of Connors State, which is in Oklahoma. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic is where Martinez is originally from. 6'5", 190 pounds. Tall guy, not a lot of beef on him. And how's his season been thus far, Joe?
13 appearances for him so far this season. 3-1 record with an 8.27 ERA, 20 2/3 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts compared to 8 walks on the season for Brian Martinez.
Logan Michaels now ahead 3-0 in the count with Martinez. Why do you think, I mean, we were trying to discuss it in the break, but why do you think that Donnie Scott decided to go with the change here?
Well, you never know. The last inning, I don't know if you remember this, there was a mound visit kind of randomly in the middle of the inning, so you never know. It could be something involving an injury, and we both know in this league you never want to risk anything, especially with these guys having collegiate careers to worry about and the future. So that could be why we see Ryan Martinez in right now for Morrell.
That pitch goes foul after a called strike count, now full. So Martinez working himself back full. His last outing was against the Wisconsin Woodchucks in that 21-12 loss that they had here at Warner Park. Probably the low point, I guess, of the season for the Mallards at home was that 21-12 loss. 21 runs put up. That's crazy. Steps off. Now a 3-2 here. 5 earned runs in 1 inning against Martinez, and that was over a week ago. It was on the 14th. It was 12 days ago. So a long break for him, as now he's coming back, and definitely a move from Donnie Scott here to give him the lead and, you know, give him a chance to kind of improve his morale after a tough game. And talking about morale, just took morale out of the game.
Very true. Very true.
Morale's final line, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. That one's going to miss outside for a walk for Logan Michaels, and the Madison native will get on with 1 out, or with no outs. 3 innings, all 3 times leadoff batter has gotten aboard for the Rockford Rivets.
Something we don't see a lot. They play really good music here at where the Mallards play, Warner Park. I must say, I've been feeling myself tonight. It's really good music here.
Yeah?
I can't help it. I hear the music and I have to move to it, Scott.
Tim Lilly making his way up now. He's got a runner on first with no outs. And it's outside. Logan Michaels is running, and he is standing on second base safely. I wonder if that one will go down as a wild pitch or a passed ball. I'll let you know when I know.
Rivets have been in this situation multiple times tonight with runner on second with no outs, and
it'll go down as pass ball there.
Right now they're 1 for 2. Let's see if they can convert right here after the Mallards rallied.
Runner in scoring position with no outs, you should score this, no doubt. If you're Brian Smith, you're standing over there being the third base coach, and you're saying this runner at second needs to score.
Yeah, well, it's something he's been stressing about all year.
That should be the baseline for any baseball team at any level. If you have a guy on second with no outs, I mean, 2 balls hit to the right side of the infield gets the job done.
Yeah.
2 balls hit to the right
score.
side of the outfield gets the job done. You know, it's not the most challenging thing in the world. Just put the balls into play and let a smart base runner get himself home off that. But that's something that the Rivets have been able to do, and it's been a talking point, a focal point for Brian Smith this year.
Right, and they get back here from the returner, Tim Lilly, who hasn't played with the Rivets since June 16th. So let's see if he can just put the ball in play here. The last thing, I don't want the announcer's jinx to work here, that the Rivets want is a strikeout.
Let's just.
I said it. It's too late.
You said it. The 1-2 coming to Tim Lilly. Misses off the plate, 2-2. So it still could happen, but it didn't happen on that.
It did.
So the jinx
maybe
expires,
you just need to be
right?
more optimistic.
The jinx expires. I don't know what the official rules of the jinx is. There's a lot of unwritten rules in baseball.
There really is.
And the announcer's guide to being an announcer, there's a lot of
the announcer's guide
rules there, I guess. 2-2. Swung off, fouled that one back. Lilly's staying alive right here.
Good at bat, regardless, from Tim Lilly here.
What do you think is, if you're a coach, what do you think is kind of the number that makes an at-bat a quality at-bat? I know the official sabermetric stats put a quality at-bat at 5 pitches or more. What do you put it at?
I mean, if you can get, and I think that's pretty accurate, if you can get the count to at least full and maybe foul a couple balls off, that's a good at-bat to me. There's Lilly right there, fouls yet another one off. You know, just
there was the announcer's jinx.
Right. just making the pitcher work and throw pitches, and you know, if you can do that every time, even if you strike out, I'm sure the manager would be happier with that. But let's see if Lilly can come up with a better result right here. He did strike out in his last at-bat.
The 2-2. Swung on. That one will be a high ball to right field. Let's see if Logan Michaels will try and attempt the tag. He is going to try and attempt it, and the throw into second is not in time. And so Now a sac fly away from making this a one-run game. Logan Michaels safe over there at third, and Tim Lilly getting the out, but he does what he needs to do there.
Yeah, good job by him right there, especially going opposite field. And Logan Michaels, he can run for a catcher.
Yeah, he can boogie, and talking about running for catch, Wyatt Mascarella, unfortunately, we have to say, probably one of the slowest guys on the team.
Yeah.
But a very good catcher, good power hitter, gets on base. Brock Mathis, as a catcher, I loved watching him run. He was such a smart base runner. He ran fast, and I would almost call it violently.
That's a good word, yeah.
As, he made sure that he was able to get the job done. That one finding its way just out of play, and now Reback trying to fight his way on. And you've been seeing recently, we talked about how he started off the year so hot. Reback has been struggling getting good contact. Last time up, for example, he had a pop-up to the third baseman. And so he's really he's struggling finding contact that is worth something, really. I mean, he's been able to find holes in the defense, yes, but, he's gotten a lot of weak contact to it. 0-1 coming out of Reback, lefty. Called strike in there. Another reason that I would think that Donnie Scott would have shifted to Martinez is Martinez throws with his left hand, and the original pitcher, Morale, is a righty, and so Brian Smith going with a pretty lefty-heavy lineup. And, so bringing in the lefty pitcher early to, put the ball back into the court of the Rockford, or the Madison Mallards, and a swing and a miss there. So a 3-pitch strikeout for Brendan Reback, and he's not going to be happy with himself now. As the sacrifice opportunities are out the window, Cade Bunnell's going to need to not get out here to keep this inning alive here.
Good music here tonight, Scott. You can boogie. I know you use it as a baseball term, but it's also a dancing term in case you haven't.
Love that. Oh, there's a called strike on the inside of the plate. Joe, are you excited to be back at home tomorrow? Are you going to be broadcasting with me?
Yeah.
I think you are.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be on camera or I'll be broadcasting with you, but you always know where I'd rather be. So
next to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes my heart happy.
Are you crying?
No. Swung on, fouled down the first base.
It really sounded like you were crying right there. I don't know if you had something in your throat or.
I'm an actor, dude.
You are. Hey, Scott Gladstone, you're going to see this guy on TV. I know you used to see him on radio, so you might not know what he looks like.
I don't think.
But you will see this guy on TV at some point.
I don't think that's a real thing. You seeing me on the radio?
Well, you're on radio right now.
But
I'm saying.
They're not seeing me on radio.
But that's what I'm saying.
0-2 to Bunnell. Ooh, just misses the zone. If that's a 3-0, probably one of those gets called a strike. But an 0-2, it doesn't. We've seen it both sides.
Bunnell has reached on an error and a walk tonight, so no hits, but good efficiency here from the leadoff hitter.
Unconventional, but gets the job done. 1-2, that one's going to miss. Count goes 2-2. Logan Michaels, a smart base runner over there on third. 2 outs, he's going on anything. And, if Bunnell's able to get on any way possible, then may see a run here for the Rockford Rivets. If you heard that in the background, that was Joe and I knocking on wood. 2-2 coming from Cade Bunnell, or from Martinez to Cade Bunnell. Outside, now count is full. If he walks, that opens the door for Kean O'Brien, who has a single today, to get runners on the corners with 2 outs. A situation that the Mallards have taken advantage of that the Rivets have not so much been able to. 3-2 coming to Bunnell. Swung on, fouled back, stays alive. 23rd pitch of the inning from Brian Martinez. Plays his college ball at Connors State in Oklahoma. And, a well-traveled guy. Dominican Republic, plays his college ball in Oklahoma. Now he's in Madison, Wisconsin. 3 very different places. 3-2. Going to miss low and get by. And it actually ended up hitting the foot of the home plate umpire, who, when he tried to move out of the way, knocked it back and kind of like a soccer heel tap.
Right.
Kind of ushered it into the goal. And no goal there and no run there as Donnie Scott brings the infield in. And now with the righty Kean O'Brien coming up, another situational pitching change as another pitcher will come in from the outfield. We're going to take a quick break as the new pitcher takes his warm-ups. We'll be right back to tell you who the Rivets are seeing with 2 outs and runners on the corners. First pitch from the new pitcher, Leon Hunter, is a wild pitch, and Logan Michaels is going to score from third on it. And as Sweet Caroline continues to play in the background, sure, the energy that was built up from the classic stadium song is kind of sucked out by that wild pitch score. Advancing to second is Cade Bennell. Leon Hunter has had a pretty good year and good success against the Rivets and pretty much everybody else he's faced. And that earned run's not going to go on him. Interesting to note. But how's the year been, Joe?
So far this year for the Madison Mallards, 14 games appeared in for him, 3-0 record, 21 in the third innings pitches. That one is skied to left field. That one might get down.
That one is going to get down and get by the left fielder, Ober. Kean O'Brien boogies into second, and we're all tied up again. So, Cade Bennell scoring from left, and that was another situation kind of like the Vanderwall play down the right field line that looked like maybe if he dives there, he's able to make the play. It wasn't that far away from Ober, but instead Ober lets it fall just to minimize the damage, and then it kind of skirted out of his glove, and
skirt.
And Kean O'Brien skirts into second.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I really thought that Ober was going to maybe make a diving play, and sometimes you have those plays where you really don't know whether to commit to the dive or let it hang up there, and right there he did, but it was so close to him he ended up kicking it away from himself, which allowed O'Brien to advance to second. Now we see Parker Bates coming up to the plate, and last time he tripled and ended up getting that Little League home run like you mentioned.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got to think with 2 outs that the call there is go for the dive and finish this one off, because if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, I mean, it's going to probably end up being a double anyway. That one goes foul and out of play. Count goes 0-1. So, again, interesting to note that both those earned runs will go against not Leon Hunter, but the pitcher that was just in for the Mallards, Martinez. They're both his base runners, as that one swung on, fouled back as well. Count goes 0-2 for Parker Bates. Like you mentioned, 1 for 2 with a triple and a pop-up to the shortstop. The 0-2 coming to Parker Bates, runner on second. That is the go-ahead run on second. Swung on, high fly ball. Goes out to Drew Ober, and a good snag by Ober. Ends the top of the 4th, but we're all knotted up at 5-5. Another barn burner between 2 rivals. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 4th. Drew Campbell again tries to bunt for hit on Cooper Kane, who stays in the game. That one goes foul down the left field, or down the third base line, and just barely foul, as it was. I mean, Drew Campbell has shown that he can place a bunt pretty well. You know something about placing bunts, don't you?
Absolutely.
Had that competition with Ryan Cole earlier this year. Fell pretty bad against Ryan Cole. That was tough to see. That one swung on, ripped down the right field line. That one's fair. Drew Campbell could turn this into a multi-bag hit. Good throw from Vanderwall will hold him at second, though, so a double down the right field line, and the go-ahead run for the Mallards is on to lead off the inning. Every time the Rivets have come out swinging, it's been an answer by the Mallards. Top of the 3rd, 3 runs. Mallards put up 3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Now 2 runs in the top of the 4th, and the Mallards already threatening to put 1 on, with 1 on and no outs.
And you know, one thing that the Rivets today, they have been able to convert, which they haven't done in the past on the Mallards' mistakes. 3 errors by Mallards today, which has helped lead to these 5 runs from the Rivets. Madison with 9 hits of their own with 5 runs, but a lot of offense and a lot of scoring going on in this game. right now. A bunch attempt there.
Finds its way over the net and into the stand behind home plate here. And count goes 0-1. Joe, you got a really long iPhone cord. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's a 10-footer.
The longer the better. That's my motto. That one's hit to center field. Backing up is the center fielder, Parker Bates. He'll snag that. And a big throw to third, and it's off target. Snagged well by Parker Kelly, but a good tag up by Campbell. Advances the runner to third on the, not a sac fly, but not a sac fly that scored a runner, but sac fly that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cooper Kane, 85 pitches on the day. He's still in. Are you surprised that he was picked by Brian Smith to come back? Oh, never mind. I eat my words. I'm sorry. I'll never speak again. Brian Smith just took him out of the ball game as he brings in a new pitcher. We'll be right back. Runner on third, one out here, bottom of the fourth. Don't go anywhere. We're back here, and the new pitcher is Nathan Schneiderman, the big donkey. Joe, obviously the lefty-on-lefty matchup is advantageous to the pitcher coming up here. Jake ran to warm it up with one out and a runner on third. Why else do you think Brian Smith chose him? He's had a pretty good year thus far.
Yeah, I think, it's obviously a close game against a very good team. Schneiderman right now with a 1-1 record, 2.58 ERA coming out of the pen in 12 appearances, 5 saves. We've seen him in that closer spot many times this year for the Rivets. 21 in the third innings pitched, 34 strikeouts compared to 10 walks, and 16 hits allowed. So Schneiderman, big spot here with one out and a runner on third here for the Mallards, and there's ball one right away.
Ball one, 74-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch. It's Park in the Park night, Joe.
It is. I've been scoping out some dogs all night. There's one right there. I've had my eye on him all night. He's a good dog. He's gray, but
that one's going to go over the head and right back to Logan Michaels. So a very fortunate wild pitch that ends up not being a wild pitch because it bounced off that brick backstop here.
We've had that happen here before. I don't know if you remember that, but that saved a run for the Rivets. It might have been the last game we played here, but I remember specifically a ball going over the catcher's head and bouncing off that brick and going right back to him.
You know, I kind of like it because it's kind of like a, it's kind of like a hockey deke. You you kind of fake him out. You fake him out. You say, "Oh, you thought you could go home, but now you can't."
It could have been a strategical play.
Swung on.
Like
that was a pitch call.
A pitch out almost. Yeah, be like throw it at the brick.
Throw it at the brick, and if you hit it good off there, Logan Michaels flips around, catches the ball, and you're caught in a pickle all of a sudden.
That's just good managing right there, if you ask me.
Brian Smith, one of the best to do it.
He really is.
2-1 upcoming to Randa after he fouled that last one off. 1 out, runner on third. That one again up near the head of Randa.
He doesn't like that one.
Count goes 3-1. Yeah, he kind of came off of that one. That was the second heater up near the head at 85. Warming up is the right-hander, Plantier, who can belt home runs. So if he walks Jake Randa, the advantage goes right back to the batter. That one in the strike zone. Swing and a miss at 85. Count goes full now with that strike. Runner still on third. A fly ball to the outfield. Should be able to score Campbell, who's got good wheels over there at third. 5-5 ball game here in the bottom of the fourth. Swung on and missed, and a big strikeout from the big donkey, Nathan Schneiderman. All sacrifice opportunities are out the window. And Schneiderman now has to overcome the disadvantage of seeing a right-handed batter.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, there's really not a lot of let-up here in this Mallards lineup right here. You got a lefty coming up. But Plantier does have a high strikeout rate, 12 home runs in the year, but definitely a swing and a miss type of player. Really good average, so I guess you couldn't say that. But one of Schneiderman's earlier appearances we've seen from him all season. I don't know if I've seen him in a game this early so far. Coming into the fourth inning, normally a late inning guy for the Rivets here as he faces Plantier in the bottom of the fourth, and he delivers there for ball one.
Yeah, you see him come on. He's pretty much the de facto closer, and just because he's gotten 5 days of rest, and you know, it's a bold decision by Brian Smith to bring on probably his best reliever there, who misses outside. Count goes 2-0 for Plantier. Warming up is the left-hander Vinsky. So maybe he's trying to just pitch around the righty Plantier and then see another lefty. Or excuse me, Vinsky's a righty. I don't know what I'm saying. Well, that one misses. So now count goes 3-0.
Well, even when he pitched at Dubuque this last year, had a great season, but I want to say he primarily came out of the bullpen too for Dubuque. So definitely interesting strategy for Brian Smith. We'll have to ask him about that after the game, see how that goes for him right now as he walks Plantier on 4 pitches.
And for the third time, Vinsky will come out to the plate, and every time he's had a runner on first, a runner on third, and 2 outs that he's come up to the plate. One time he got a double that scored 2. Last time he struck out swinging. What do you think happens this time?
It'll be interesting. Let's see what he does with this lefty on righty matchup here, normally in favor of the batter, but as we both know, the big donkey out there on the mound, Nathan Schneiderman, never an easy task for any hitter to go up against.
Schneiderman's 11th pitch of the inning for him is in there for a called strike, so he's ahead early, 0-1. Vinsky mentioned 1 for 2. Last time out, not a lot of, he comes on in save opportunities, but not a lot of save opportunities recently for the Rockford Rivets. His last opportunity was the 1-0, or the 5-1 win, as that one just misses. Count goes 1-1. Kenosha, they won 5-1 over Kenosha, and it was a 4-run deficit, or a 4-run advantage for the Rivets, so he didn't get the save, but he did come on, throw the final inning, and get the win over the Kingfish. And then before that, it was one of his worst outings of the year. 3 runs, earned runs allowed, 6 runs total allowed against the Kalamazoo Growlers. That one misses outside on July 14th. And 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 3 hits allowed, but that was one where, you know, some errors by the defense fueled a big bottom of the 6th inning in a 7-inning game, and he ended up getting saddled with the loss to put his record at 1-1. The 2-1 swung on, foul and out of play. Count will go even now at 2-2 for Nathan Schneiderman versus David Vinsky. How big would an out be right here for the Rockford Rivets?
Yeah, it would be pretty big, especially Schneiderman. This would be, if he continues to pitch in this game, again, he's coming in very early. He's pitched 4 innings, 1 time for the Rivets this year. That's his max, but Let's see what he can do here. Big spot here for the big donkey.
2-2 with 2 outs, 2 on, swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for the big donkey, and we're going to the 5th inning, knotted at 5. We'll be right back.
Welcome back here to our matchup between the Rockford Rivets and the Madison Mallards. Right now the score is tied at 5-5 in the top of the 5th inning. Jacob Vanderwall will lead off the top of the 5th for your Rockford Rivets. Vanderwall with a strikeout in his last at-bat and a walk in his first at-bat in the 1st inning. Let's see what he can get going here as he calls time, steps out, gets some composure here against the pitcher. Leon Hunter for the Madison Mallards. Vanderwall takes ball 1 high. Vanderwall with some very selective at-bats for the Rivets so far this year. I want to say he has 15 walks on the year. That make it 16 after his last walk today, as he fouls that one off. Let's see if he can get going here. 5s across the board, 5-5 ball game, and the top of the 5th inning. Rivets getting 2 runs in the 4th inning, 3 in the 3rd. It's been a back and forth ball game, and he's swinging a miss there to make the count 1-2 now. 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball there from Leon Hunter. Hunter primarily working out of the stretch now. He comes set. And the delivery. That one's another ball on the outside. Vanderwall, one of 2 players on the Rivets roster this season, playing for Central Arizona College along with Brennan Reback. Batting .255 on the season. Pitch from Hunter, that one's in the dirt for ball 3. And the leadoff man of the inning, Jake Vanderwall, runs the count full here. Hunter works pretty quick. Again, like I mentioned, he's out of the stretch, does not work out of the windup. He comes set. And the full count delivery to Vanderwall. Ground ball over there to the shortstop. Garrett Huber throws on to first for out number 1. Vanderwall now 0 for 2 on the day. Now batting for the Rivets, Zach Sagal. Sagal walked in his last at bat and lined out to, or I should say, had a home run robbed of him by the left fielder, Drew Ober, in the first inning, and a ball that looked like it was about to leave the ballpark. And he takes for ball 1. Sagal, named by his head coach at Stanford, the understudy for Cubs first-round draft pick Nico Horner, who was drafted number 24 overall by the Cubs in the first round. Should see some more playing time after this year. He is a natural shortstop for the Stanford Cardinals. So let's see if he gets more playing time after this next year for Stanford. And the 2-0 count. Delivery from Hunter, and that one's going to be in there for a strike right down the middle. Sagal, one of the newer additions for the Rivets, hasn't been here all summer, but has played an important role. Able to play second, short, and third base. Very expendable. And another pitch in there from Hunter. It's another strike, 2-2 here to Sagal. Nobody on. Top of the 5th inning, 5-5 score. Rivets all tied up with the Madison Mallards. 2-2 count, delivery, check swing, but he did go as Hunter gets Sagal down on strikes there. 2 outs here for Madison Mallards in the top of the 5th inning. Parker Kelly now making his way to the plate for his 3rd at-bat of the game for the Rivets. He doubled in his first at-bat, grounded out to the pitcher in his second. He was stranded on second base in the top of the 2nd inning after his leadoff double, and the Rivets couldn't convert on that. See if he can do more of the same here. Leon comes set, and the pitch. It's going to be a ball low here. Hunter 87 on that pitch. Definitely one of the harder throwers in the Mallards bullpen, primarily coming out of the bullpen. 22 strikeouts to 5 walks for him. Now 23 after that last strikeout, so pretty good ratio for him. And that one's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Huber, but that's going to eat him up there, and that's going to be an E6, I'm assuming, as Parker Kelly reaches on an error by the shortstop, Garrett Keeber, excuse me. And Rivets manager Brian Smith has hit on this all summer, and that will be an E6 by Keeber out there at shortstop from Austin P. And as I mentioned, Brian Smith, the manager for the Rockford Rivets, has stressed that just putting the ball in play has been something that the Rivets need to do more often. You got to give yourself a chance there on offense, and putting the ball in play is the way to do it, as the Rivets find themselves with a man on first and Parker Kelly, and 2 outs here. As Logan Michaels approaches the plate now. He too was robbed of a home run in the top of the 2nd inning by Drew Ober, who's had himself a night out there in left field. And he snagged one over the wall to rob Michaels of a home run. 0-1 count here to Michaels. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, score tied at 5. That one's going to be in there for a ball. Count goes to 1-1. Parker Kelly over at first base, reaching on an error by the shortstop, Garrett Keeber. Let's see what Logan Michaels can get going here. Originally from Madison, playing in his hometown here. Line drive to the right fielder, Jake Random, but he gobbles that one up for out number 3. And the Rockford Rivets go quietly here in the top of the 5th. We'll be right back.
All right, Joe. We are back here as the called strike is in there.
All right.
To Drew Ober from the Big Doggy Nathan Schneiderman. Count goes 0-1. That one is going to miss. Counts now all even at 1-1. Joe, are you ready for some sports trivia?
I am. I have not been that consistent all year, but I plan to be tonight with my sports knowledge.
Do you think as that one's in there, foul ball? Count goes 1-2. Do you think you can do it without multiple choice? Or do you want multiple choice?
No, let's do it.
Without multiple choice?
Yes.
They're not that hard. I'll keep you with the easy ones.
Challenge accepted.
The easy.
That one's in there for a ball. 2-2 now.
All right, we'll get harder. All right. Okay, 2-2 right now to Ober, who is 0 for 0 today with a sac fly and a walk. Here's the 2-2 coming up to him. Start you off with 2 easy ones. That one's going to miss. Count goes full for Ober. Okay, first one.
Easy one.
How many holes are there in a full round of golf?
Oh, my gosh. 18.
Okay, 18. Pretty easy right there. What is professional wrestler John Cena's catchphrase? That one swung on and missed strike 3. And Ober goes down swinging. John Cena, what is his catchphrase?
Can't see me.
You can't see me. Nice. Let's get a little medium now. Who is the shortest player ever to play in the NBA?
Muggsy Bogues.
How'd you know how tall he was?
5'4". 5'3".
3.
Oh, I did. I said it before you did.
Do you know his real first name? It's not Muggsy.
I do not, actually.
Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Fouled
I
back.
did not know that.
Andrew Baker. He's 1 for 2 today. Another medium. What male tennis player has won the most Grand Slam titles?
Roger Federer.
Roger Federer. Most people call him the greatest male tennis player of all time. Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was correct. Okay. That's correct. Ball goes outside there. Count goes 1-1 for Andrew Baker. Last professional. Okay, you're not going to get this one. This is a hard one.
What sport are we talking here?
Hockey.
All right, bring it.
Who's the last professional hockey player to play without a helmet?
Oh, my God.
You have no idea what this is.
No. It's so hard.
Called strike. It's Craig McTavish.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. He's Canadian professional hockey executive and former player.
It shouldn't count. I was doing good until.
All right. Hard ones won't count right away. All right, the 1-2 coming in there, called strike 3, and another strikeout from the big donkey, a forwards K and then a backwards K, as now he sees Jesse Forstell coming up, and now, all right, this one's a medium one, but it might trip you up.
What sport is it? Just
football and baseball.
I like football.
Well, let's start you with some easy ones first. Regulations height for a basketball hoop.
10 feet.
Easy. You played basketball. You should know that one. What city hosted the 2012 Summer Olympics? Ooh, I know
this. Is that Rio?
No.
No. Shoot. It's not Rio. Rio is 16, right?
Yes, Rio is 16.
Oh, why is this? Give me a continent. Or no. Wait, no. Yeah, give me
Europe.
Is Europe? Oh, why can't I remember this? I feel like I should definitely know this one.
They speak the same language we do there.
Oh, London?
London.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, shoot.
Got you with an easy one.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
Oh, jeez Louise.
I thought that was a hard one. I don't know. I do remember Rio. That's why I'm surprised I didn't remember England. I wanted to say that, but it didn't sound right.
A 1-2 coming to Jesse Forstell, trying to strike out the sides. Nathan Schneider. That one's going to miss.
London.
Count will go even at 2-2 now.
Quite right.
All right. Medium. Tiger Woods became a professional golfer. What year?
1998. How close was I?
You were 2 years off.
2000.
96. You went the wrong way.
6. Oh, I was so close. Are you the one ranking if these are medium or not?
No, there's an official ranking.
Okay.
A 3-2 coming out of Jesse Forstell. One strike away from striking out the side.
I like to know multiple
Schneide will not do it as that one's hit to center field and into the glove of Brennan Reback. All right, Joe. Here's the 2 mediums. If you get them right, if you get one of them right, you win. All right?
Wait, we're done after this? All right.
Are we going to continue next inning?
I'm enjoying this. I like to know more. Multiple choice.
We'll leave you in suspense. We'll be right back for the other half of trivia. This was a 1-2-3 inning for Nathan Scheiderman. We'll be right back.
Thank God I'm a country boy.
Top of the 6th here. I'm sorry you had to hear that. Leon Hunter is still out. And Joe feeling it a little bit from the...
You really need to tell me when we're back on air there, bud.
Put that one on your highlight reel. Oh, my goodness. Tim Lilly fouls off the first pitch from Leon Hunter. Joe, you going to be all right?
I would love a 1-2-3. We're on.
You don't get that here. This is
Apparently not.
This is not the MLB. We are learning here, Joe. The sooner you get that, the sooner you'll know that.
I guess so.
The 0-1 coming to Tim Lilly in there for a called strike. Count goes 0-2. Lilly 0 for 2 today with a fly out to right field and strikeout swing. That fly out to right field did advance Logan Michaels to third. Logan Michaels did score, so, Lilly having a hand in that.
So you got that going for you.
I don't think you just spoke English there. 0-2 coming to
so
Tim
you got
Lilly.
that. So you have that going for you.
I know, you kind of slurred those words together.
So you got that going for you.
Swing and a miss there, and the second strikeout of the day for Tim Lilly. Starting off a little bit rough, but I'm sure he'll get back in the groove of things. Back to some trivia as Brendan Reback, the number 9 batter, makes his way up 0 for 2 today. All right, can you get this one? Curling.
Oh, no. What? Why? What? Do you really think anything about curling?
It's medium. You got to get it.
Okay, all right, fine.
Where did the sport of curling originate?
Canada.
Wrong.
Wrong. It's not in Russia. Sweden. Norway.
Right. Think of my
Finland.
name.
Gladstone.
No, the other part of my name.
Scot. Scotland.
Really? Yeah.
Golf and I believe golf originated.
Two of the top sports of all time: golf and curling.
Yeah, and this sport we'll hit this small ball towards the hole, and this other one will slide it across some ice here and knock it against another one.
I mean,
I think interesting.
They're simple but effective. I think that I like that.
No, clearly it caught on.
That motto from the Scottish people. That one's hit out to left field. Drew Ober backing up, snags that one. All right. Here's the make or break. This is the one. Who is the only athlete ever to play in a Super Bowl and a World Series?
All right. Deion Sanders.
Correct.
See how casual I was about that one?
Yeah, you're clutch, dude. Ice in your veins, man. Let's see if I can find any hard ones that you can get.
I don't like the hard ones because the medium ones, because you're not ranking these, and you just said that a curling question was medium.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
How am I supposed to know anything about curling unless I religiously watch the Winter Olympics, which I don't.
You don't, man?
You know what? I do like
Pyeongchang?
What's the sport? You know why the Winter Olympics is weird? Because they have a sport that involves skiing and shooting a rifle. What is that called? I forgot what that's called.
Yep. Oh, Kate Bennell, snack a hit there. Snacking on a hit.
There you go.
To left center field. He's on first with 2 outs. He's the go-ahead run. O'Brien will make his way up. The Madison boys having pretty good days thus far. Logan Michaels scored a run to tie it up.
Hey, you got to do it in your hometown. You know how I do? You know what I mean?
Put a show on in front of the fans. That's what I say. Give the people what they want. All right.
Come on. What are you gonna? Are you gonna?
No. Okay.
Say a weird
this
one
one's
again?
medium, but it's kind of tough.
All right.
It's really tough, actually.
All right.
What year was the first modern Olympic Games held?
Wait. Modern.
Called strike there.
What is
to
considered
Keane
modern?
O'Brien. Count goes over.
There's nothing.
No. Not the Greek Olympic Games.
Well, clearly, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but when was the first time all the countries came together to compete against each other in sports?
All right. Can I ask? This might be a dumb question. Is it what century are we in here? Can I at least get that?
We are in. That one's hit to left field and into the glove of Drew Ober for the final out of the inning. On the trivia?
Yeah, let's just keep going.
All right,
we'll go right through a commercial.
We'll go right through it. Yeah, our non-existent commercials. We'll go right through it.
Yeah, we got sponsors.
This is great because it's not like the webcast where we need to stop. You can just listen to us do trivia.
We'll be right back in 90 seconds. There's a monkey out in the field right now. You can't see that.
Where? Oh no, there's
2 monkeys.
Where's
it's
the
a monkey.
Oh, yeah, they're the
costumes.
grounds crew.
Scott, those are costumes.
Oh, what are they controlling?
I am so confused. Are those dollies? They are. All right, go ahead. Just go ahead.
All right, so we are in the 19th century.
Okay. Which is the 1800s.
Yes. Glad you asked.
I'm going to say 1886.
No.
Was that close?
No, it couldn't have been on that because it happens like 2000 and then every 4. Because like
oh, okay.
Trump,
Well, I don't know. Okay.
That doesn't.
1892. 1896.
Ding, ding, ding.
That was pretty close. Like
Yeah,
even
no,
with the
it-
86 thing.
I mean, I gave you the century, and it wasn't going to be.
No, but I mean that's still pretty.
The entire world was just hating each other in the early 1800s.
Right,
There's a
'cause,
lot
like-
of friction going on.
Because like, the War of 1812. There was that.
Yeah.
The French Revolution.
Yeah, people were not.
I'm pretty sure it was in the 1700s actually.
No,
I consider myself.
We're not. We're not history buffs.
I'm a history buff.
You are?
Look up history questions right now. Change the subject. Do it right now. I'm serious. Are you doing
Yeah,
it?
because you don't know much about. Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, I know about history.
Because you don't know much about sports history. Curling, dude.
What? I got. Yeah. I'm not credible because I don't know anything about curling.
All right. Who fought in the French-Indian War?
Well, you would want me to say the French and the Indians, but it was the English and the French.
Correct. Who discovered America?
Well, I feel like it's not. Is it Christopher Columbus? Is that what they're going to
No.
say? Because it's not. It's a guy who's named after America, correct? Is that what it is or no?
Well, I mean, first of all, this is discounting Native Americans.
Okay, yeah.
But the
they're
first
native.
European. The first European.
Marco Polo.
No.
I just guessed on that one. Who is it?
Viking. It's a Viking. You might know the name if I say it.
What is it?
Leif Erikson.
Oh, Happy Leif Erikson Day. Hing da ding da durgan. You ever heard that?
No, I haven't.
All right, never mind. And the first pitch from the big donkey, ball one.
What day was the Declaration of Independence signed?
1776. Oh, what day? Sorry, July 4th.
Wrong.
Oh, that was the Constitution. Sorry. Was it in April? What month was it in?
July.
It was in July?
Second pitch.
Oh, it was July. It wasn't July. Was it July 4th?
Two straight balls to Garrett Keeper there. Count goes 2-0 for the number 9 batter who's 1 for 2. It wasn't July 4th, no.
July 2nd.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
That one is in there for a called strike on Keeper. Count goes 2-1.
When
Bottom
can I-
of the 6th inning here, 5-5 between the Mallards and the Rockford Rivets.
When am I deemed credible?
What does that mean?
I'm good at history. Take my word for it.
Okay. That one is hit out to right field. Vanderwall will camp under it for out number 1 here, bottom of the 6th. All right. What does the D in D-Day stand for?
Oh, I know this. Oh, I do know this. I do know this. I do know this. I do know this. Oh man, if I don't think I'm gonna get this one right, but I think I'm gonna. I feel like I'm gonna kick myself after it. What is it?
It's a trick question. It doesn't stand for anything. It's a placeholder. That one's up the middle. A chance over at short for Seagal, but it's going to end up as an infield single for Campbell.
You want to know an interesting fact about D-Day? Is it was supposed to happen on June 5th, but it was
Really?
It was not because of fog. It was delayed because of fog.
I mean, it worked out all right
Clearly,
in the end. So
yeah.
probably a good call to delay it. It's basically like when they delay a game in Lakeshore because of fog. They had fog problems in Lakeshore. Our webcast producer Zach Stone and I were there for a game that was delayed and subsequently postponed due to fog. It gets pretty crazy out there in Mequon. As a swing and a miss there has Schwecke behind 0-1. Tying run or go-ahead run is at first right now for the Mallards. Keep an eye on Campbell. Fouled back there. Count goes to 0-2. 1 out. Runner on first is Campbell. Schwecke at the plate, looking at the 0-1.
We'll pause trivia for a while here.
That one up the middle, a chance for 2. Segal touches for 1. The throw to second is on point, so a 6-3 double play gets us out of the inning, and we'll send this one to our sponsors. Be right back. Parker Bates will lead us off here in the top of the 7th inning. Joe's taking a little bit of a break. He's going to go around and experience all that Mallards Stadium has to offer. First hit from Parker Bates is going to be down in the gap, and it's going to get all the way to the warning track before being picked up by the center fielder Campbell, who has wheels to get over there in time. Maybe that's turned into 3 if Campbell doesn't have the wheels. And a leadoff double here in the top of the 7th for Parker Bates, and he's on with no outs. Now Jacob Vanderwall makes his way up, walked his first time up, struck out swinging, and grounded out to the shortstop. Here's a chance to at least advance the runner, put the go-ahead run 90 feet away, still in scoring position. But Vandy has a big opportunity here. First pitch misses outside, count goes to 1-0. Alex Reyes is the new pitcher, 6.89 ERA, 15 2/3 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts on the year for Reyes. Where's the number 19? Stands 6'1", 190 pounds out of New Mexico State. The 1-0 swung on and a big foul ball there. Right back into the catcher and rattled around and falls dead. Count goes to 1-1. 6.89 ERA. I mentioned that. One game started. 5 walks and 25 hits allowed on the year. Last time out, though, through 2 innings against Wisconsin Rapids in a 7-1 win. Did not allow a hit, did not allow a run. Struck out 4 and did not walk a single person. Opposing on-base percentage against him is .410. Opposing batting average is .362. That one misses. Count goes 2-1. So definitely a guy that allows batters to put the ball into play. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, doesn't hit a lot of guys. A whip of 191 coming into this game. That one swung on, fouled back. Count now even at 2-2. His worst outing of the year probably came 2 appearances ago, 14 days ago, at the Lakeshore Chinooks. It was a 10-5 win, but he did allow 3 earned runs and 1 2/3 innings pitched on 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. He's only walked batters in 2 of his 11 appearances thus far this year. The 2-2 coming to Vandy. Looking for his first hit of the game. Time called by the home plate umpire after the long pause by Reyes on the bump. Parker Bates still stands on second base. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, fouled back. Just enough to stay alive. Is Vandy's 6th pitch of his at-bat upcoming. Parker Bates, leadoff double to right center field to start us off here. That one's going to miss low. Blocked well by the catcher, Forstell. Count goes full now for Jacob Vanderwall. In his first plate appearance, when he walked, it was a 3-1 pitch that he walked on. Trying to do it on a 3-2 now. Zach Segal on deck to be followed by Parker Kelly. 3-2 coming. Big payoff pitch from Reyes to Vanderwall. Swung on, fouled back, stays alive. In the 2 games that Reyes has walked batters, he has allowed at least 3 earned runs. The 3-2 here, you can expect him to come right at Vandy on this payoff pitch. Again swung on, and again fouled back by Vanderwall. Pushes it to the 9th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Here's 3-2, swung on by Vandy, high fly ball, gets out to center field. Drew Campbell camps under it, and running to third now is Bates, and he will tag up successfully. So now the go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Rockford Rivets. Not exactly what Vanderwall wants, but he does have a 9-pitch at-bat that results in an advancement of the base runner, so it's something better than nothing. Now Zach Segal 0 for 2 today. Struck out swinging his last time up, walked his second plate appearance, flied out to left field as well. Here is the 0-0 coming to him from Reyes to Segal. Swung right up the middle, and it's going to be bounced around off the glove of the pitcher Reyes and then into the glove of the second baseman Schwecke as the infield was in there. And Bates will be stranded at second for now. Sacrifice is out of the question. After that ground out, maybe because of the deflection that ended up in Schwecke's hand, there might have been a chance for Bates to go home if he was running right away, but a soft grounder up the middle is not going to get the job done there. And now Parker Kelly will have to come up with a clutch hit, and instead it will be a wild pitch. Get away from the catcher Forstel, and Bates will come home on, I believe that will be scored as a wild pitch. Could also go down as a pass ball. It was a tough play for Forstel to snag that, but nonetheless, the run comes home. And nobody's going to get credit for the RBI, but Parker Bates getting the job done. A good double, good tag up by him there. And it will be scored as a wild pitch. 6-5, the Rivets lead now, and Kelly hits a weak grounder over to third base. The throw over to first by Plantier is on target, but it's time to stretch here at the Mallards Stadium, Warner Park. We'll be right back. The Rivets have taken the lead. They're up 6-5. First pitch by Jake Randa. I believe that was Jake Randa. Was fouled off, and then he flies out to left field on a nice catch by Brennan Reback over there sliding and making the play. That one's fouled off. Count goes 0-1. Nathan Schneiderman still in the ball game for the Rockford Rivets here. A long relief job by him and doing well thus far. That one's going to be in there for a called strike, and he's ahead 0-2 on Plantier. That one will be outside. Count goes 1-2. And that one will miss. Count is now all even at 2-2 after Nathan Schneiderman got ahead early. 0-2, now we're all even for this pitch. 2-2 with one out to Tyler Plantier. That one swung on, foul tip into the glove of Logan Michaels for K, and strike number 2. Strikeout. Excuse me, out number 2, strikeout number 1 of this inning. David Vinsky makes his way up. He got the scoring started with a 2 RBI double in the bottom of the first. A lot of scoring has come across since then, 3 for each side. In the third inning, 2 for Rockford in the top of the 4th, and 1 in the top of this inning to give them the 6-5 lead right now. That's in for a called strike on Vinsky. And so coming right at batters this inning is Nathan Schneiderman. Already 2 down, trying to make it 1-2-3. That one misses. Count goes 1-1 now for Vinsky. Just off the outside of the plate. First time there's been a hitter's count, as it's 2-1 with 2 outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. That one weak, foul ball and out of play. Count all even at 2-2. This is the count that he got the strikeout on Plantier, trying to do the same to Vinsky on a 2-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. 6-5 lead for the Rockford Rivets over the Madison Mallards. The 2-2. That one is going to be hit a little bit out of play. Another weak ball, got enough contact to it to crank it up, but not out and definitely not fair. Count stays 2-2 here. That one is hit to right field, and it again finds its way out of play down the right field line, so Vinsky stays alive. That was right around where he hit that 2 RBI double in the first inning, except that one just cranks a little bit foul there. Three fielders running on it. O'Brien over at first, Lilly at second, and Vanderwall in right field. Here's the 2-2. Up and coming from Schneiderman, who has thrown 51 pitches today. Swung on, fouled right around the same area. So staying alive this at-bat is Vinsky, and Nathan Schneiderman still has 1 ball to throw. Let's see if he works with it here. With the 2-2 upcoming. That one hit up the middle, and Lilly will field. Great play off the top hop, and a good throw to first base for out number 3. We're going into the 8th. The Rivets lead 6-5. Leading off the top of the 8th inning, it's Logan Michaels. First pitch, swing and a miss. Count goes 0-1 for him. Alex Reyes staying in for the Madison Mallards. 0-1 to Michaels. Will be low outside. Count now even at 1-1. For these two teams, the Madison Mallards currently lead the season series 3-1. Two of those wins coming here at Warner Park. One of those wins coming at Rivets Stadium in that 14-inning, 2-0 defensive battle. Ball misses outside. Count goes 2-1, no outs. The one win for the Rivets coming 5-4 in the most recent game played at Rivets Stadium. All part of that doubleheader where both teams get a home game. Kids Day here at Warner Park was a defense or an offensive show, and that ground ball over to third base is a great play by Tyler Plantier to field and throw for out number 1. And then the nightcap there was a back and forth game, but Brock Mathis ended up fueling a narrow Rivets win, and it's a similar score right here as 5-4 final that game. This one is 6-5 right now in Warner Park. Rivets trying to add any sort of insurance, and Alex Reyes and the Madison Mallards trying to do everything they can to prevent that here. At Bark in the Park, Tim Lilly, first pitch goes right to first base. Vinsky fields cleanly, and a one-pitch ground out, unassisted for the first baseman, David Finsky. Now the left fielder, Brennan Reback, makes his way up, 0 for 3 today. Fly out to left, strikeout swinging, and a fly out that popped up to the third baseman Plantier. Trying to go 1-2-3 in this inning is Alex Reyes, and maybe open the door for Nathan Schneiderman to come back in, or will Brian Smith turn to the Rockford Rivets bullpen? First pitch high and away, count goes 1-0. Rare to see a game where Brennan Reback does not get on base, and as of right now, that's the situation. I'm sure he'd love to find his way on with 2 outs here, and then use his speed to be able to work his way around the horn, the 1-0. That one's inside, count now 2-0. Let's see if he gets the green light on the hitter's count here. That one will miss, counts now 3-0. And the next pitch will basically be a get-me-over pitch from Reyes to Reback. That one will be right down Main Street, called strike. Count goes to 3-1 now. Reyes' 22nd pitch of his outing. Swung, hard shot down the right field line, and a good diving play by Vinsky and toss to Reyes for a 1-2-3 inning. The Mallards not breaking here, but they are trailing by a slim margin, 6-5 going into the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th here, Drew Ober will lead us off. The new pitcher for the Rockford Rivets is number 36, Anthony Hollebecky. Hollebecky out of the University of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish righty. Struggled to start this year, got walked off twice to start the year. 6'3", 200 pounds, stands the Elburn, Illinois native. Mentioned throws with his right hand, 1-3 record, but kind of like Cooper Kane, that's not really reflective of what he's done this year. His past couple outings, I mean, he's been all over batters. And you take a look, Lakeshore through 2 innings, did not allow an earned run, allowed 1 hit, picked up the save, and had a really good outing. He's also gone 3 2/3 against Wisconsin, did not allow a hit. 1 1/3 against Wisconsin. Before that, 4 days before that, did not allow a hit. I mean, other than a Madison game where the first time the Rivets played the Mallards, where he allowed 4 runs. He allowed 4 runs in 2 innings. He has been pretty stern on what he's done on the mound. In his past 8 appearances, he has not had an appearance where he has allowed more than 1 run. In his last 8 appearances, only 3 runs allowed total. Looked really good against a Kalamazoo squad that has done really well. Most of the times this year, though, he's appeared in losing situations after maybe being an option to be a clutch late game guy and getting walked off twice to start the year. One of those things where he maybe lost that role and then since has shown his potential and maybe earned that back. And so if the Rivets are able to get it done here, it'll be a effort pieced together by 3 of their best pitchers, with Kane going to Schneiderman, going to Hollebecky, but Hollebecky needs to finish this one out. Another breaking ball is fouled back. Count goes 0-2. That one hit 79 on the gun. The Dogs are howling here. They're barking for a tying run by the Mallards. At the plate right now, Ober represents it. That one goes high. Count goes 1-2 now. After a 1-2 inning with 3 ground outs in the top of the 8th. The top of the order comes up in the top of the 9th. Should be interesting to see what they can do. That one swung on, popped up the chimney and out of play, and smacked on top of the roof over the home plate stands here. Count stays 1-2. Ober today 0 for 1 because he had a sac fly, a walk, and struck out swinging his last time up. Again, pounds on the roof above us on a foul ball. And count stays 1-2. Eventually trickles off the roof and ends up as a souvenir for somebody. Lucky fan here at Warner Park. These 2 teams will face off tomorrow, 6:35 p.m. at Rivets Stadium. That one again fouled off. And again hits the roof. Man, he's really trying to get him stuck up here. Count stays 1-2. Another 1-2 coming. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. And he put him down to his knees on that 78-mile-per-hour pitch and just fooled him. And so 7 pitches, but he got a forwards K to start off the bottom of the 8th inning here. Just needs to get through this Madison Mallards batting lineup for 5 more outs without allowing a run, and much easier said than done. From top to bottom, these Mallards can ball, and there's no question about that. That's the reason why they're sitting on top of the Northwoods League with a 38-16 record. That ball goes outside. Count goes 1-0. Out of those 16 losses, 1 of them came at the hands of the Rockford Rivets by 1 run. They're trying to do it again. It would be their 2nd straight win against the Madison Mallards. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss there on the 86-mile-per-hour here. Count goes even at 1-1, 1 out, nobody on. Andrew Baker up 1 for 3. Struck out looking his last time up, singled to right field in his second at-bat, grounded out to the shortstop, Zach Segal, in his first time up. The 1-1 now coming from Hollebecky to Baker, just misses the outside of the plate count now. And a hitter's count again, that was the 10th pitch of the inning for Anthony Hollebecky. 2-1 with 1 out here. Not only is it the team with the top record in the Northwoods League that the Rivets are playing right now, an 8-game win streak on the line as that one's fouled back. Count goes 2-2. In their last 10 games, the Mallards are 9-1. After starting the second half slow, they've really started to cruise and hit their stride again. The team that we saw in the first half that ran away with the title and the clinched playoff spot. The 2-2 with 1 out coming. That one missed the outside of the plate. Count's going to go full. If you're a Rivets fan that wants to see them make the playoffs, one of the ways to get there is the Madison Mallards. If they can win the second half crown, the Rivets can sneak their way in by getting the 4th spot in the playoffs. Here's the 3-2. That one off the outside of the plate and a payoff pitch. Goes for a ball. Baker will walk. He finds his way to first base with 1 out. And now Jesse Forstel, who had a single in his second plate appearance, but also a strikeout and a flyout, makes his way up. He represents the go-ahead run, the tying run, is represented on first base in Andrew Baker. A low stance over there by him, swinging his arms. Big leadoff jump there by him, but he does not steal in this time. Count goes 1-0, 1 out. One swing of the bat could mean a Mallards lead. Another swing of the bat could be a double play at the end of this inning. The 1-0. Swing and a miss there. 88 miles per hour on the gun from Anthony Hollebecky. In terms of the league standings, Madison on top, 4-game lead over Kalamazoo, who is at 34-20. Fond du Lac, 1.5 games behind the Growlers at 32-21. And then there's a big 7-game stretch as that one hits the strike zone. Count goes 1-2, 7-game stretch between the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders and the Lakeshore Chinooks. Only 3 teams in the South Division have a winning record. Then the standings go Lakeshore, Battle Creek, Kenosha, Wisconsin Rapids, the Wisconsin Woodchucks, and the Rockford Rivets. All within 3 games of each other. That one goes off the plate. Counts now even at 2-2. Fond du Lac and Wisconsin all knotted up in the top of the 9th in Athletic Park up in Wausau. That's a game to keep an eye on. The 2-2 here. Swung on, fouled back. Count stays 2-2. Final from Homer Stryker Field in Kalamazoo. The Growlers win 13-10 over the Bullfrogs. Bullfrogs pretty much the de facto last place team all year. They've really struggled to find their groove, only coming up with a win here and there, never really putting together a solid win streak. That one misses. Count goes full now. Hollebecky, his 20th pitch of the inning, could put runners on first and second with 1 out. Green Bay 20-34 record on the year, 18 games behind the first place Madison Mallards. But really, if Madison wins the second half, they're only 5.5 games behind the Lakeshore Chinooks in 4th. Vanderwall very casually out there in right field, catches a high fly ball. Barely moves, and now all sacrifice plays are out the window with 2 outs here. And the number 9 hitter, Keeber, will make his way up. As Forstel walked out there after his long at-bat, he went and said a few words to Garrett Kieber. Maybe some tips on how to get through to Hollebecky, as the only base runner he's seen get on thus far has been Baker, who got on with a full count walk. Here's the 0-0. Hits the inside of the strike zone. Kieber didn't like it very much, that it was called a strike. Nonetheless, count goes 0-1. Swing and a miss there on an 89-mile-per-hour fastball, and now he's behind 0-2. Hollebecky on the year, 29 strikeouts to 9 walks, trying to get a big number 30 here. Swung on, foul, and out of play. Excuse me, it would be 31 if he got that, because he led off this inning with a strikeout of Drew Ober. 30 strikeouts to 9 walks on the year by Hollebecky, who has a 3.76 ERA. The ERA peaked at 13.5 after his first inning after his first 2 appearances, each of which he pitched 0.1, 1 out. In each of those appearances, got walked off both times, 1 on a home run, 1 on a bases-loaded walk. Now 1-2 coming to Garrett Kieber, the number 9 batter. If he can get this out, the Rivets will see that one will be an infield hit there, as it'll fall in kind of a Bermuda triangle of sorts, right between the second baseman, Lilly, the shortstop Segal, and the pitcher Hollebecky. And so not very well hit, but perfectly hit by Garrett Kieber. And now Drew Campbell is up, and all of a sudden the guy that the Rivets did not want to see is the top of this order, and especially Drew Campbell, who's been on fire today. Drew Campbell 4 for 4 today, 3 singles and a double. Brian Smith is going to come out and say a few words to Anthony Hollebecky, who's thrown 25 pitches this inning. And he's going to bring the entire infield in. And maybe he has something going in the bullpen. The thing about it is the bullpen is out of the view of us here in the press box. It's situated really awkwardly. If you want to know what's going on, there's no camera out there where we can see, so he could have action going on. You might think that Tanner Probst would be the guy to get the call in right now. Campbell is a lefty, and Tanner Probst, Brian Smith calls him one of the best lefty-on-lefty pitchers, or one of the best pitchers against left-handed batters in this league. And he's very confident when he says that. But he will not make a change. It'll just be a long conversation where all the infield came in to be a part of it. Drew Campbell 4 for 4 today with a runner on second now. Gonna see the pitch from Anthony Hollebecky. 26th pitch of the inning, a big at-bat here from Drew Campbell. He's got the speed. Any ball in the infield could be dangerous, as he'll try his best to leg it out. The 0-0 coming to Campbell. First pitch goes off the plate, count goes 1-0. The danger doesn't stop with Campbell. Schwecke, Randa, and Plantier all are chomping at the bit to get their shot this inning with runners on. The 1-0 to Campbell. That one's high and away. Count now 2-0. The Louisville outfielder will have a hitter's count now with 2 outs, 2 on, and a 2-0 count. Hollebecky kicks and deals. Swing and a miss there on an 88-mile-per-hour fastball. Count goes 2-1. Probably the biggest at-bat of the game thus far for either side. The lead is 6-5 right now, an advantage of the Rockford Rivets over the Madison Mallards. The difference being Parker Bates scoring on a wild pitch. The 2-1, that one is low and inside. Count goes 3-1 now. A ball away from loading the bases for Schwecke is Anthony Holobecki. The 3-1, bottom of the eighth here, 2 outs, 6-5. Rivets lead the Madison Mallards. Runners on first and second. That one is fouled back. Now a full count. A big 3-2 coming to Drew Campbell. Three-two here. 2 outs, runners on first and second. The runners are going and it's fouled off. Interesting to note that Drew Campbell has seen Anthony Holobecki once, and it was on June 19th in that 9-4 Madison win, in which Anthony Holobecki allowed the most earned runs out of any of his appearances. Drew Campbell was 1 for 1 that game against Holobecki. Here's the 3-2. Runners going. The pitch is outside, and the bases will now be loaded for Trevor Schwecke. Grounded into a double play his last time up, flied out to center field twice, and singled to center field as well. So Schwecke making his way up. 11 hits on the day by the Madison Mallards. This game, or this inning, really has been 2 walks and then a weak single on an infield pop-up, basically, that just found its way down perfectly. First pitch swung on, diving attempt by Parker Kelly over there. It's going to get by. One's going to come home. 2 will come home. Trying for home is Campbell, and he'll score easily. And sliding in for a bases-clearing triple is Trevor Schwecke, and all of a sudden the Mallards have taken the lead, and they are up by a score of 8-6 now here at Warner Park, and a very Mallards-esque play to make there. Clutch hitting, first pitch, taking it down the line, and if Parker Kelly keeps that in front of him, maybe one gets home, maybe he's able to touch third and get out of the inning. Instead, 3 runs come home, and the Mallards lead 8-6. Brian Smith is going to come out now and take the ball from Anthony Holobecki, and just a tough turn of events for the Notre Dame pitcher. And we're going to take a break as a new pitcher comes in. Don't go anywhere. Dane Havman makes his way into the game now. The Mallards lead 8-6 off that 3 RBI triple from Trevor Schweicke. First pitch is fouled back, so that brings an unfortunate end to the day for Anthony Hollebecky, who really didn't pitch that bad. It was 2 walks on full counts, and, you know, it's that close to being the end of the inning. And unfortunately for the Rockford Rivets, they're now going to have an uphill battle as that one drifts foul down the third base line. Count goes 0-2. For Jake Randa now. Randa 1 for 4 today. Would love to put some more insurance across the board. 1 single in his second plate appearance. Havman on the year. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk. For the Texas Tech pitcher, that one just misses the plate. Count goes 1-2. For Randa, his only earned run he's allowed this year was in his opening game against the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Allowed 1 earned run in 1 innings pitched, but did strike out 2. Since then, he's just picked up more speed. As a swing and a miss there, gets the Rivets out of the inning, but not before a 3 RBI triple from Trevor Schweicke gives the 2-run advantage to the to the Madison Mallards. Rockford Rivets' last chance coming up in the top of the 9th. We're back here, and it is one of the best closers in the Northwoods League making his way to the mound. Trace Norkus wears the number 37 and stands tall, 6'3", 215 pounds, out of North Florida. Joe, he's had a pretty good season thus far, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was all-star in the South Division this year in Kalamazoo. 2-1 record with a .39 ERA, 19 appearances, and 12 saves in those appearances, 22 2/3 innings, 28 strikeouts with just 10 walks. So clearly, like you mentioned, this guy is well established himself as the closer for the Madison Mallards this season.
He has not had an appearance. He's had 1 appearance where 1 run has come across him, not had an appearance where 2 runs have come across him, period. Not earned runs, runs, period. Never has had a multi-run game. And the Rivets, they have an uphill battle trying to be the first team to do that on him as he throws a ball to start that off. Joe, on a lighter note of what just happened here for the Mallards to take back the lead, you got to spend a little time in the stands.
I did.
The last couple of innings. How was it?
It was interesting. I was
another ball there.
Talking to some of the interns. A couple of interns made their way up north here to watch the game. And, we were talking. This is my first opportunity to watch the game from the stands, and definitely a different perspective. It was awesome. This is a great stadium, and
swung really on, fouled back by K. Bonnell. Count goes 2-1.
Really cool to kind of get to see the stands during a game. Me and you kind of walked around prior to the game to kind of check out the scenery around here, but it was definitely a cool experience. And right now, obviously the Rivets got their hands full here, but great game regardless.
Great atmosphere here at Mallard Stadium always, as that one is a heavy hit ball to left field, backing up, and Ober's not able to rob a third home run. A solo shot by Cade Bonnell makes it a one-run game, and that one, Oppo Taco action.
It's only his second earned run of the season, Scott.
Second earned run of the season, and that puts the game on its head. No outs here. Kean O'Brien, hometown kids, have a day, and you saw a little cheering section for him right here. This guy wearing an Indiana Hoosier hat that was part of it. I assume he's cheering on K. Bonnell, the Indiana Hoosier by school year, Rivet by summer, and home run hitter as well by summer. As first pitch to Kean O'Brien is a called strike. Count goes 0-1. Another hometown kid. Wouldn't he love to make a splash here? Count goes 0-1 for him. That one, Ober maybe had a chance at it, but just misplaced himself. There's a swing and a miss by Kean O'Brien. And now the energy trying to get refilled back into the stadium. Trace Norcus.
And Norcus is he's not lobbing anything in there. That ball that Bonnell just shot to left field was a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. So,
and a swing and a miss there, so he comes right back with a 3-pitch strikeout. And Parker Bates, who's 2 for 4, scored the run that gave the Rivets the 6-5 lead, now makes his way up. He doubled to start that one off, then advanced to third on a fly out to right field, and then got home on the wild pitch. He has a chance here. Another run from him is critically needed by the Rivets. That one's in there for a ball. Count goes 1-0.
Something that Bates needs to do right here is just, and I know I say this all the time, but just be patient here. Don't try to rush this guy. Don't try to get ahead of him right now. Just wait for your pitch.
The only runs against Trace Norcus have been solo shots. That other one run against Kenosha was a solo shot, and I believe as a swing and miss there makes the count 1-2. Crowd getting really into it. I believe that was a Mike Madej home run to walk it off.
And this guy is an all-star for a reason, Scott. He's got the stats to prove it right now with a .39 ERA. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves right here. He did have an appearance in the All-Star game as well.
Yeah, threw two-thirds of an inning in the All-Star game. And yes, it was a walk-off home run by Mike Madej, as that one's fouled back. It was a walk-off home run by Mike Madej in the bottom of the 9th on July 7th. That is the only run given up by him this year. So 2 solo shots, not bad. I mean, that's just leaving 2 pitches in there to hit. And a swing and a miss there, and another strikeout. And now the last chance for the Rockford Rivets is Jacob Vanderwall, 0 for 3 today with a walk. He has pop. He's shown it in his college season at Central Arizona, playing in a Woodbat League down there, a Woodbat College League. But this year has struggled. Only 1 home run in terms of power, and he had been cruising for a while, but he's on a downspin right now. And now with 2 outs, the Rivets need him to come through and tie this game up. or at least stay alive. Called strike in there. Count goes 0-1.
91 miles per hour there, and you can definitely tell he relies on that fastball to blow by people, and which might be the reason his only 2 hits are home runs.
Check swing there, and he half-heartedly finished it out. Count goes 0-2. Crowd starting to get louder and louder here, anticipating the final strike after a K. Bonnell home run made it a 1-run game. Could he finish it off? The 0-2 outside and high. Count goes 1-2. Crowd will quiet up for just a second before realizing they're still a strike away from it. Last time these two teams met, it was a 1-run win by the Rivets. That one goes inside. Count goes 2-2 now. Madison trying to return the favor with a 1-run win of their own. Back and forth all night, as it was 2 in the bottom of the first for Madison. Then Rockford took the lead. Madison took it back. That one's inside. Count goes full. Madison took it back with a 3-run bottom of the third. They led by 2. Then Rockford tied it up at 5 apiece. They took a 1-run lead in the 7th. Madison put 3 in the bottom of the 8th. And now the Rivets trying not to go down. 3-2, swung on and missed, and Vanderwall strikes out to end the game. Joe, it was back and forth. Rivets couldn't come up with a win, and that's got to be deflating out of the All-Star break. It would have been a huge win to start off against the first-place Madison Mallards and try and have some sort of kickstart to this second half. What are your final thoughts on the game tonight, and what are your expectations for tomorrow and for the rest of the season?
Well, I think that if we will obviously talk to Rivets manager Brian Smith shortly here, and if you're him in this situation against a really good Madison Mallards team, I don't think he's going to be that upset. I mean, the Rockford Rivets came out this, I guess we can call this second half of the season after the All-Star break, and this is one of the better games that I've watched the Rivets play this year. You know, you came up here in a rough environment in Madison. I mean, you had the runs. You put up 7 runs against a really good team, and obviously the Mallards are a good team too. And it was a tough go out there. You went up against some really good pitching, and Rockford put up some of their better pitchers. We saw Schneiderman come up in the 4th inning. Cooper Kane started the game for us. Hollabecky coming in. You know, we brought out all the stops, and I think it just comes down to Madison just being an overall really good baseball team. And I think the second. Like I mentioned, after the post-All-Star game for the Rivets will be a little bit different. We return home tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I think that we'll see a little bit more out of the offense. I think that they got their confidence up tonight, and it should be interesting to watch tomorrow's game for sure. So you should definitely tune in.
Yeah, 6:35 on Northwoods League TV. You can hear Joe Byers and I at the game. Joe Byers might be on the sideline. He might be in the press box. You never know with this man. Reyes will get the win. Hollabecky will get the loss. Norcus will get the save. I mean, I think the final thought that I have is, you know, the Rivets started off hot to this year, and that is because players were still trickling in. And one of the big advantages that Brian Smith has is that he can tap into that Chicago area and always find decent players to put out there on the field. And I think as players start to trickle out here at the end of the summer, this is where Brian can find a groove of teammates that can maybe get it done against, you know, a Mallards team that might be losing some of their Louisville guys or their, you know, starting pitcher and Brian Morrell from Notre Dame, Andrew Baker from Florida. There's all sorts of guys that might start to trickle off and head back to college, and it should be interesting to see what Brian Smith does as he reloads and cocks the gun again to finish this season out. 19 games left, and it should be a fun one. Joe, anything else?
I don't think so, Scott. Looking forward to tomorrow night's game. We always have some pretty good games against the Mallards, so like I mentioned earlier, tune in for that game. Should be a lot of fun. Scott Gladstone on the call. Maybe I might be there as well. Looking forward to some more baseball.
In some capacity, you'll be there.
In some capacity, I will be there, but we always play the Mallards pretty well, so it should be a good game.
It should be a really exciting one. Thank you all for tuning in. For all of us here at the Rockford Rivets, for Joe Byers, my name is Scott Gladstone. Thank you, get riveted, and have a good night.